Chapter 2795 Qiuqiu's Evolution. In Lu Ming's dantian, a spot of light grew brighter and brighter. In the end, a flame appeared. The fire of the mysterious divine power had been successfully condensed. The sixth divine fire appeared in Lu Ming's dantian. Of course, this divine fire had just been formed and was still very weak. If he wanted to raise it to the same size as the other divine fires, he would still need to cultivate diligently for a period of time. This could not be rushed. Lu Ming stopped cultivating at this point. He began to practice the divine skill, the 3 apocalyptic strikes. That was because after the series of battles, Lu Ming felt that the 3 apocalyptic strikes were about to break through. Lu Ming took out a long spear and started to cultivate in the courtyard. Bush, bush, bush. The long spear danced in the air like a real dragon swimming in the courtyard. However, all of the power was condensed into the long spear, and not a single bit of it leaked out. Sky-breaking, moon-cutting, Lu Ming cast the first and second moves of the 3 apocalyptic strikes over and over again, taking turns. Gradually, Lu Ming's understanding of the 3 apocalyptic strikes reached a peak. After a few days, shwa, Lu Ming shook the long spear and it streaked across the sky. A crescent-shaped spear light flew into the sky and disappeared. I've broken through. Lu Ming's eyes were extremely bright. Lu Ming had finally broken through to the 5th stage of the 3 apocalyptic strikes. After breaking through to the 5th level, whether it was the first form, sky-piercing, or the second form, moon-cutting, the power had increased by a level. Lu Ming was only at stage 3 True Ji, D realm. It was absolutely shocking that he could cultivate his divine skill to stage 5 at this cultivation level. For example, Li Zhong's cultivation base was at the peak of True Ji, D realm. He had been stuck in the True Ji, D realm for countless years, but he had only cultivated his divine skill to the peak of stage 4. People who didn't have enough talent at the True Ji, D realm, most likely could only cultivate to the 4th stage of the divine skill. Only a few extremely talented experts could rise to a higher level. For example, Long Xian had cultivated his G, D technique to the 5th level. Now, if I go all out, I'm afraid I can defeat Long Xian. Lu Ming revealed a confident smile. Suddenly, Lu Ming's expression changed and he looked in Qiuqiu's direction. At this moment, Qiuqiu's body was emitting a powerful aura. This aura was extremely shocking. Fortunately, the courtyards where the inner disciples lived were protected by a large formation that could isolate the aura. Otherwise, this aura would definitely alarm others. This aura is so shocking. Qiuqiu is breaking through to the 2nd stage of True Ji, D realm. No, 3rd stage True Ji, D realm. Sensing Qiuqiu's aura, Lu Ming was initially overjoyed. In the end, he was shocked and his eyes widened. That was because Qiuqiu's aura had risen too quickly. Originally, Qiuqiu's cultivation was at the 1st stage of True Ji, D realm. At this moment, it quickly rose to the 2nd stage of True Ji, D realm. After a while, it rose to the 3rd stage of True Ji, D realm, and then the 4th stage of True Ji, D realm. It wasn't over yet. Its aura was still rising. Stage 5 True Ji, D realm. Stage 6 True Ji, D realm. It only stopped when it reached stage 8 True Ji, D realm. He had advanced from the 1st stage of True Ji, D realm to the 8th stage of True Ji, D realm in a short while. This speed was even faster than riding on an interplanetary warship. It would be strange if Lu Ming was not dumbfounded. Lu Ming was tongue-tied, thinking that he was dreaming. At this moment, Qiuqiu finally reacted. It turned its round body, and its expression was shiny and sparkling. A pair of eyes and a big mouth appeared on his body, revealing a satisfied expression. Qiuqiu, you broke through to the 8th stage True Ji, D realm? Lu Ming asked. Yes, I am. Suddenly, a figure appeared in Lu Ming's mind. You can speak? Lu Ming was stunned. No, I'm talking to you with my mind. The ball continued. Lu Ming was stunned and then nodded. Xiaoqiu's cultivation was so high that it was normal for it to be able to communicate with him. One must know that in the heaven realm, even martial king realm demonic beasts could speak. Xiaoqiu was very strange, but it was at the true D stage after all, so it was normal for it to communicate with its thoughts. 8th level true D. He actually directly broke through to 8th level true D. That piece of bronze door's fragment is also too heaven-defying, right? Lu Ming was amazed. It was obvious that Xiaoqiu had swallowed a small fragment of the bronze gate on the ancient D star, which had caused its cultivation to skyrocket. It was only a small fragment, but Xiaoqiu's cultivation had actually increased so much. If it swallowed the entire bronze door, what realm would Xiaoqiu advance to? Would he be able to reach the divine king realm? Or even more? Lu Ming's heart was burning with passion. But then he shook his head helplessly. He had asked around before and found out that the bronze door had not been opened yet. Currently, there were countless experts gathered at the bronze door. There were even many divine king experts. Moreover, the major sects had invited a few formation masters to study and crack the formation on the bronze door. He couldn't get close to the bronze door at all. He could only think of a way in the future. Lu Ming, do you want to have a spar? Xiaoqiu's voice was heard again. 2 tentacles extended from its body like arms, and it looked at Lu Ming arrogantly. This guy good. Come, let's exchange pointers. Lu Ming smiled. He also wanted to know how strong Xiaoqiu was after breaking through to the 8th tier of true D. Be prepared, I'm afraid it'll hurt you, Xiaoqiu's arrogant voice continued. This fellow is really confident. Lu Ming pursed his lips and then circulated his divine energy with all his might. In his dantian, 6 divine flames started to burn. Although the mysterious divine fire had just been condensed, it was still useful in increasing Lu Ming's divine power. At the same time, Lu Ming activated the battle formula and his combat power was tripled. A long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hands. Come on. Lu Ming stared at Xiaoqiu. Buzz. Xiaoqiu's round body charged at Lu Ming. One of its arms transformed rapidly into a huge hammer and smashed at Lu Ming. Boom, boom, boom. The hammer smashed out, and a violent explosion rang out in the air. What a powerful force! Lu Ming's eyes narrowed the moment Xiaoqiu attacked. He did not dare to be careless. Break the sky! Lu Ming thrust his spear. Boom! A spear ray collided with Xiaoqiu's hammer, creating a violent boom. Buzz! Lu Ming's long spear shook violently. His body shook violently and he was sent flying like a cannonball, crashing into the wall of the courtyard. Runes appeared on the walls of the courtyard, blocking Lu Ming. Fortunately, the courtyard was protected by a large array. Otherwise, the courtyard would have exploded. Amazing, amazing! Lu Ming's arms ached. The web between his thumb and forefinger was split open and blood was flowing out. After the collision, Lu Ming was completely at a disadvantage. The power of Xiaoqiu's move just now was extremely terrifying. It was definitely not weaker than Long Xian's all-out attack. Xiaoqiu is only at stage 8 true D, but its power is so strong. Its power can probably be compared to prodigies who can control divine-grade divine power. Lu Ming thought in his heart. The miserable Lu Ming in the past, Xiaoqiu's power was comparable to a genius who could control divine power. But now, he was one step stronger. He was probably comparable to a genius who could control divine-grade divine power. How is it? Isn't he amazing? Xiaoqiu's proud voice rang out. Interesting again. Lu Ming revealed a strong desire to fight. He kept triggering the battle formula, wanting to trigger a 4-fold combat power. Come on. Tell you. My strength is not limited to this. Xiaoqiu waved its 2 arms as proud as it could be. Boom. After dozens of times of triggering, Lu Ming finally triggered the quadruple combat strength. 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. This time, Lu Ming really exerted his full strength and used the moon slash. Given Lu Ming's current abilities, he could probably suppress Long Xian if he used this move at full force. Its power was shocking. Buzz. A crescent-shaped spear ray slashed at Qiuqiu. Incoming! Qiuqiu cried out and retracted its arm. Its round body turned rapidly and smashed toward Lu Ming. Clang! It was another terrifying collision. The crescent-shaped spear light collided with Qiuqiu's body. At the moment of collision, the crescent-shaped spear's gleam shook violently and shattered. Then, Qiuqiu's body hit Lu Ming's long spear. Lu Ming's long spear shook violently. He felt a terrifying force surging towards him. He felt as if he had been hit by a planet. Lu Ming's body flew out once again and hit the wall of the courtyard. This time, Lu Ming spat out a mouthful of blood. He felt as if all the bones in his body were about to break. Lu Ming, are you all right? Qiuqiu asked with concern. I'm fine. It's just a small injury. What's the big deal? Lu Ming braced himself. How could he lose face in front of Qiuqiu? Qiuqiu, is this all your strength? It's really powerful. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Qiuqiu's power was probably close to the heavenly G. Oh, D level. It was really shocking. He was no match for it even if he went all out. Of course not. I still have another power that I haven't used. Qiuqiu said complacently. After it finished speaking, sizzling sounds came from the surface of its body, and wisps of lightning appeared. It's this kind of lightning. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This lightning was exactly the same as the lightning on the bronze door back then, but it was much thinner. Lu Ming, do you want to try the power of my lightning? Qiuqiu blinked its big eyes and said. There was a hint of ill intention in its eyes. You'll try it, come on. Lu Ming was very confident in his defense. With a thought, 9 ice chains flew out and wrapped around him. Then, 9 layers of scarlet gold armor appeared on his body. He was fully armed. Are you sure you're ready? Qiuqiu asked in a low voice. Of course. Cut the sea. Come on, you can't hurt me. Lu Ming had a look of confidence. Zzzzzzz. Bolts of lightning emerged from Qiuqiu's body and then gathered into a bolt of lightning as thick as an arm. It rushed towards Lu Ming at an alarming speed and hit Lu Ming in the next moment. Then, there was an extra person in the courtyard. His body was charred black, his hair was in a mess, and smoke was constantly rising from his body. Lu Ming, are you all right? You're the one who wanted to try it? Qiuqiu said, a little scared. I'm not. I'm fine, how could I be? Lu Ming gritted his teeth. He had never expected that the lightning Qiuqiu had triggered would be so powerful. His ice chains and scarlet gold armor couldn't withstand it at all. They crumbled in an instant, and the terrifying lightning directly scorched his body. At the critical moment, Qiuqiu had probably gone easy on him. Otherwise, he would have been in an even more miserable state. Amazing, amazing! Immediately, Lu Ming was excited. The power of Qiuqiu's lightning was absolutely comparable to that of a heavenly G. Some of the weaker heavenly G. Oh, these might not even be this strong. The stronger Qiuqiu was, the happier Lu Ming would be. Immediately, Lu Ming consumed a divine healing pill to recover from his injuries. He then washed up and changed into a new set of clothes. Lu Ming, are you there? At this moment, Yu Linglong's voice came from outside. From her voice, she seemed to be quite anxious. Qiuqiu transformed into a bracelet and put it on Lu Ming's hand. Lu Ming walked out of the courtyard. Lady Yu, what happened? Lu Ming asked. Lu Ming, this is bad. An Hai, Lu Chang, Zhao Feng and the others have been beaten up. They're seriously injured. Yu Linglong said. He was beaten? Lu Ming frowned and a cold glint flashed in his eyes. Who did this? Lu Ming asked. I don't know yet. I came to you after I got the news. Zifeng went to see them first. Yu Linglong said. Let's go. Lu Ming stepped into the air and flew toward the residence of An Hai and the others. Very soon, Lu Ming and Yu Linglong arrived at An Hai's residence. They pushed the door open and smelled the stench of blood. And NBSP and Hai, Lu Chang and Zhao Feng were all here, but they all looked very miserable. Lu Chang and Zhao Feng were lying on the ground, their faces pale and their breathing weak. Lu Ming could tell with a single glance that their bone armor had been broken. And Hai was the most miserable. Half of his body had exploded and blood was flowing out. His internal organs could be seen. At this moment, Wu Zifeng was helping Enhai heal his injuries. Boss? Enhai struggled to bow when he saw Lu Ming. Don't move. Recuperate properly. Lu Ming quickly stopped him. His eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. The person who had done this was extremely vicious. If they were not in the Kongxian sect, where the other party did not dare to violate the sect rules and kill, Enhai and the others would have been dead. Even so, Enhai and the others had probably suffered quite a bit. Fortunately, Enhai and the others' injuries weren't fatal. With their divine bodies, they could recover very quickly. A few hours later, Lu Chang and Zhao Feng's bones had all been set back and their auras had stabilized. Enhai's exploded body was also healing rapidly, and new flesh and blood grew. Who did this? Lu Ming said coldly. Enhai, Lu Chang, and Zhao Feng's expressions froze, and they looked at each other. Boss, we're fine. Let's just forget about this matter. Enhai said, let's just forget it? How can I just let this matter go? In the future, will anyone in the Kongxian sect still take me seriously? Lu Ming said coldly. He knew that Enhai and the rest were doing this for his sake. However, Lu Ming would not let it go. Who did this? Lu Ming asked again. Boss, it's still. Enhai wanted to persuade Lu Ming to stop. I'm asking you to say it in the name of the saint. Who did it? Lu Ming's tone was more serious and his voice was cold. Enhai's words came to an abrupt end. Finally, Enhai sighed and said, it was Lu Feiyun. Lu Feiyun? Lu Ming was stunned. He had never heard of this name. Killing their way to the door, Lu Feiyun is from the Tianhong Saint Sun's faction. Lu Chang said, it's indeed the Tianhong Saint Sun's faction. Lu Ming's eyes glinted coldly, his killing intent as sharp as a knife. He had already guessed that the people who had attacked were either from the Tianhong Saint Sun's faction, the Sacred Sun Floating Lights faction, or the Jixia Saint and the Shui Tan Saintess. It must be one of them. Courting death, Lu Ming said coldly. Boss, don't be rash. Lu Feiyu is a first-tier heavenly G. Oh, D and is the Tianhong Saint Sun's right-hand man. He's extremely powerful and far from being comparable to Long Xian. Enhai quickly said, first-level heavenly deity? So what? Tell me his address. Lu Ming said in a commanding tone. The Tianhong Saint Sun's faction had many heavenly DS, but none of them could control divine power. Only the Supreme Holy Sun could have such a person who could become a Holy Sun by himself and had divine power. It was just a first-level heavenly D who controlled king-grade divine power. Lu Ming might be able to fight with Qiuqiu's help. He had to get back at them for this. Otherwise, he would become the laughingstock of the Kongxian sect, and no one would dare to join his faction. Enhai, Lu Chang, and the rest did not dare to disobey Lu Ming. They obediently told him Lu Feiyun's address. You guys rest well. I'll get back at you for this. With that, Lu Ming turned and left. Lu Ming, wait a minute. Don't be rash. I'm afraid this is the other party's scheme. They deliberately injured Enhai and the others to provoke you to attack. Once you attack, they will have a legitimate reason to attack you. Yu Linglong quickly said, it's fine. Lu Ming waved his hand and flew out. He could naturally guess the other party's goal, but the other party had underestimated his strength. Oh no, I have to inform my cousin. Zifeng, come with me. Yu Linglong said. Then she and Wu Zifeng hurriedly flew toward Ouyang Xianxiang's residence. In a luxurious garden in the inner court, a group of people were drinking and chatting. The leader of the group was Lu Feiyun. This time, I've tortured Lu Ming's subordinates. It's so satisfying. Indeed, those idiots were really audacious. The saint said that whoever joined Lu Ming's sect would be going against him. Those guys didn't give the saint any face and joined Lu Ming's sect in public. They're just a few dogs who don't know what's good for them. Seeing that Lu Ming has some talent, they want to suck up to him. However, they don't know that Lu Ming can't fight against the saint. He can't even protect himself. Some of the young men laughed as they drank. I wonder how Lu Ming will handle this time? Someone said. He only has 2 paths to take. The first is to swallow his anger. However, if he does so, his reputation will be completely tarnished. His subordinates have been abused so badly, but he still has to swallow his anger. In the future, no one will join Lu Ming's faction. He will no longer be able to compete with the saint. Second, if he comes to me for revenge, I'll beat him up and break all his bones. I'll make him kneel in front of me like a dog. Lu Feiyun sneered. This was their scheme. No matter what Lu Ming did, he would fall into their trap. What a brilliant plan. The saint's plan is truly brilliant. That Lu Ming wants to fight with the saint. He's simply courting death. The other young men began to flatter him. Lu Feiyun, get out here. At this moment, a loud roar came from outside. The entire courtyard seemed to shake. Lu Feiyun and the others were stunned. This is Lu Ming's voice? Some people were bewildered. That's right, it's Lu Ming's voice. I didn't expect that this kid would really dare to come. Good. Lu Feiyun's eyes were cold and excited. He stood up and walked out. The other young men followed. When he walked out of the courtyard, he saw Lu Ming standing alone in the void. His entire body was emitting a cold light. You're Lu Feiyun? Lu Ming's gaze fell on Lu Feiyun. Among all the people present, only Lu Feiyun gave him an unfathomable feeling. That's right. Lu Feiyun. Lu Ming, why are you here? Do you want to lower your head and admit your mistakes to our saint? Ha! Lu Feiyun laughed and the other young men followed suit. Today, I will break your bones and make you kowtow to my subordinates in apology. Lu Ming said coldly. Lu Feiyun and the rest stopped laughing. They looked at Lu Ming as if he was an idiot. Break Lu Feiyun's bones and make him kowtow and apologize to his men? Where did Lu Ming get his confidence from? Oh really? Then why don't you try? Lu Feiyun's eyes shone with excitement. He was waiting for Lu Ming to make a move. Boom. A powerful aura burst out from Lu Ming's body. A powerful pressure filled the air above this area. They're about to make their move. At this moment, many figures appeared in the area, watching from afar. This area was originally where the inner sect disciples gathered. Lu Ming's loud roar earlier had already alerted the inner sect disciples in the nearby area. Lu Ming actually went to Lu Feiyun and said that he would break his bones. Is he crazy? He's indeed crazy. Lu Feiyun is a first-tier celestial deity and a capable general under the Tianhong Saint's son. Lu Ming is too arrogant. There's going to be a good show. It'll be fun if one of the saints gets abused. The surrounding people were discussing animatedly. Many people were waiting to watch a good show. Boom. Lu Ming did not waste any more time. He immediately attacked with all his might. During the conversation just now, Lu Ming had already started to activate the battle formula. He only made his move after he successfully triggered the quadruple combat strength. A huge spear radiance, like a mountain, pressed down on Lu Feiyun and the others. This power, beside Lu Feiyun, the other young men were shocked. Even a few peak true G, D existences were scared. They couldn't resist this move at all. Only Lu Feiyun remained calm. You want to fight me with such strength? Ignorant. Lu Feiyun had one hand behind his back. He extended his other hand and struck out. A palm print flew out and hit the spear light. Boom. The spear radiance trembled violently before it shattered. The terrifying palm force charged towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's body trembled violently and he was sent flying backward. He only stopped after he had retreated 100 miles. Is this the strength of a heavenly D? It's indeed shocking. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. Just now, the other party definitely didn't use his full strength. However, the power of his attack far surpassed it, said Long Xian, who was ranked 6th on the Real D ranking list. Celestial Deity Realm and True Deity Realm, there was a huge gap. Chapter 2798 Battling a Heavenly G. Oh, do you dare to fight me with your puny strength? Suppress. Lu Feiyun said coldly. He dashed toward Lu Ming and formed a huge palm with one hand, pressing down on Lu Ming. 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. Lu Ming let out a long howl. His divine energy was boiling as he cast the moon-cutting sword of the 3 apocalyptic strikes. A crescent-shaped spear ray slashed at the palm print. At the same time, 9 ice chains flew out of Lu Ming's body and rushed towards the palm print. Boom! An earth-shattering boom resounded, the mountains shook, and the earth trembled. Lu Ming's figure was once again thrown back 100 miles. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. However, he managed to block the opponent's palm print. Moreover, Lu Ming's divine body was extremely strong. Wisps of blood qi flowed out of his ancient DS heart, and Lu Ming's injuries were completely healed in an instant. Amazing! The surrounding spectators all revealed expressions of shock. No matter what the outcome was today, Lu Ming's combat strength was shocking. He could actually block Lu Feiyun's attacks continuously. Lu Feiyun's face darkened. Although he did not use his full strength, he was a celestial D-level powerhouse after all. He felt embarrassed, said that he could not suppress Lu Ming even after a series of attacks. He was about to continue attacking, but Lu Ming had already made the first move. Now it's my turn. Lu Ming shouted coldly and used the 9 heavenly Kunpeng technique. In a flash, he appeared above Lu Feiyun's head. The long spear struck down with force. It was the same move as the moon-cutting technique. At the same time, 9 ice chains flew down and wrapped around Lu Feiyun. Small tricks. Lu Feiyun said coldly and struck out another palm. Although he had only used one palm, more than 90% of his divine power had been unleashed. He wanted to completely suppress Lu Ming with this palm. Ball. At this moment, Lu Ming had a thought and Qiu flew out directly. It turned into a huge metal ball and blasted toward Lu Feiyun. Boom! Lu Ming's attack and Qiu's attack hit Lu Feiyun's palm print simultaneously. Boom! An even more terrifying vibration erupted. Lu Feiyun's palm print shook violently, and cracks appeared on it. How is that possible? Lu Feiyun's eyes widened in disbelief. He had never expected that Lu Ming could actually break his attack. Boom! Then, Lu Feiyun's palm print crumbled and Lu Ming's long spear swept out. Lu Feiyun retreated quickly, but it was too late. Blood splattered everywhere. Lu Yunfei's body was cut by the spear radiance. The wound was so deep that his bone could be seen. Boom! Lu Feiyun exploded with all his might. His divine power swept out like a wave, blocking Lu Ming and Qiu's subsequent attacks. Lu Feiyun is actually injured. The surrounding spectators were all stunned. He was furious. Lu Feiyun himself was furious. His entire body was filled with a terrifying killing intent. His eyes were extremely ferocious as he glared at Lu Ming. He, a dignified celestial D-level powerhouse, was actually injured by Lu Ming, a third-stage true G. This was simply an insult to him. He could not wait to tear Lu Ming into 1,000 pieces. Good, very good. Lu Ming, I'll make you beg for death today. Lu Feiyun said ferociously. His aura became even more terrifying. A pair of divine gloves appeared on his hands. Buzz! Lu Feiyun turned into a bolt of lightning and charged at Lu Ming. He struck out with both hands and several huge palm prints came at Lu Ming. They were much stronger than before. This was Lu Feiyun's true combat power. He was absolutely powerful. One must know that the divine power he controlled was king-grade divine power. It was even stronger than those first-level heavenly DS who controlled ordinary divine power. Lu Ming did not dare to be careless. He activated the 9-layer crimson gold armor and controlled the 9 ice chains. Then, he cast the 3 apocalyptic strikes and charged toward Lu Feiyun. At the same time, Qiu spun rapidly and attacked Lu Feiyun together with Lu Ming. Lu Ming did not ask Qiu to cast that kind of lightning. It was not the time yet. That kind of lightning would only be effective at the critical moment. Boom! Boom! The two sides collided once again, and a terrifying boom erupted. Lu Ming let out a long howl, his long hair flying in the wind. He exerted all his strength to the extreme. At the same time, Qiu also exploded to its limit. But even so, Lu Ming and Qiu were still at a disadvantage despite joining forces. The two of them were suppressed and kept retreating. The divine power of a celestial G.O.D was extremely strong. Every move was filled with explosive power, and Lu Ming was almost suffocating from the pressure. If Qiuqiu had not withstood most of the pressure, Lu Ming would have been defeated. In the blink of an eye, the two sides had exchanged dozens of rounds. Gotcha! Cracks appeared on Lu Ming's 9-layer crimson gold armor. It could not hold on any longer. The ice chains also made cracking sounds. Condense! Lu Ming shouted. Divine power gushed out from the measure formula. Lu Ming remained at his peak. The scarlet gold armor on his body glowed brightly again and the 9 ice chains became solid. What's wrong with this kid? Lu Feiyun was shocked. Logically speaking, Lu Ming was only at the 3rd-tier true G.O.D realm. In such a high-intensity battle, his divine power should have been exhausted long ago. However, since the start of the battle, Lu Ming had been maintaining several divine skills at the same time and was still as lively as a dragon and a tiger. He was simply a monster. Burning blood grand magic. Seeing that the battle was going on for a long time, Lu Feiyun became anxious and used his secret skill. His body was covered in a layer of fiery red blood light, as if his blood was burning. At the same time, his combat strength had also increased by several times. Bang! Bang! Lu Ming and Qiuqiu were sent flying at the same time and they retreated rapidly. Lu Ming, in particular, spat out a mouthful of blood. Kill! Lu Feiyun roared and charged at Lu Ming. His palm turned into a claw and clawed at Lu Ming, as if he was going to break all the bones in Lu Ming's body. Come on! There was a crazed look in Lu Ming's eyes. He circulated several divine skills and secret skills with all his might and was highly focused. The scarlet gold armor on Lu Ming's body suddenly became more solid and the light became more dazzling. Lu Ming was overjoyed. He had broken through the 9-layer crimson gold armor and reached the 5th layer. His defense had increased greatly. This kid, Lu Feiyun, was shocked beyond words. He had naturally noticed Lu Ming's breakthrough. So what if I've broken through? You want to block my attack? Dream on. Lu Yunfei increased his speed and attacked Lu Ming. And NBSP whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Lu Ming controlled the 9 ice chains and wrapped them around Lu Feiyun. The ice chain was extremely powerful against true immortal realm experts, but it was not enough to deal with Lu Feiyun, who was a heavenly G.O. Under Lu Feiyun's attacks, the ice chains kept breaking. Moon slaying, die! Lu Ming bellowed as he swung his long spear down. A crescent-shaped spear ray slashed toward Lu Feiyun. Suppress! Lu Feiyun was not afraid at all. He clawed at the spear ray, bringing with him a terrifying wave of energy. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. The saint takes action at the same time that Lu Feiyun attacked Lu Ming. Qiuqiu also launched an attack on Lu Feiyun. However, Lu Feiyun did not pay attention to Qiuqiu. He already knew Qiuqiu's strength. He activated a defensive divine skill that was enough to block Qiuqiu's attack. He had to suppress Lu Ming first before dealing with Qiuqiu. Boom! Lu Feiyun's claw grabbed onto Lu Ming's spear radiance and shattered it. A terrifying force was directed at Lu Ming. Boom! At the same time, Qiuqiu also smashed into Lu Yunfei's body, but it was blocked by his defensive divine skill. Now is the time. Ball, lightning, Lu Ming shouted with his mental strength. Qiuqiu's entire body emitted a series of electric lights, which converged into a lightning bolt as thick as an arm, and blasted toward Lu Feiyun. Boom! The bolt of lightning pierced through Lu Feiyun's defense and struck his body. Ah! Lu Yunfei shrieked in pain as his body trembled violently. He retracted half of the force that he was about to use to attack Lu Ming. His claws grabbed onto Lu Ming's scarlet gold armor and sent him flying. Even so, Lu Ming was still severely injured and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. However, Lu Feiyun was worse off than him. He didn't have much defense against Qiuqiu. After the previous battle, he already had a clear understanding of Qiuqiu's strength. He never thought that Qiuqiu would have such a terrifying lightning. Therefore, Qiuqiu's bolt of lightning struck him directly, causing his body to hurt as if it was being torn apart. His body was also numb, and for a moment, it was difficult for him to move. Qiuqiu, continue. Lu Ming roared. A heavenly D's strength was too shocking. Even if he was directly, Lu Yunfei would not be seriously injured. Now was the best time to completely suppress Lu Feiyun. Zzz, bright lightning appeared on Qiuqiu's body again. How audacious! Stop! The young men with Lu Yunfei roared and pounced on Qiuqiu, trying to stop it. Get lost! Lu Ming could not care less about his injuries. He cast the 9 heavenly Kuan Pring technique and charged at the few people, sweeping his long spear horizontally. Bang, bang, bang. Those few young men were only at true D level and could not withstand Lu Ming's current strength. They were swept away by the spear's gleam and fell to the ground, spitting out mouthfuls of blood. One move and he was seriously injured. At this moment, Qiuqiu's second bolt of lightning had already shot out and struck Lu Feiyun's head. Lu Feiyun screamed in pain. His body turned black and smoke rose from his body. His body was split open. The moment blood flowed out, he was burned by the lightning and turned into smoke. Bind! Lu Ming seized the opportunity and rushed over. The 9 ice chains appeared again and wrapped around Lu Feiyun. The terrifying chill instantly froze Lu Feiyun. Bang! The ice chain lifted Lu Yunfei up and threw him heavily. Lu Yunfei fell to the ground and created a big pit. Cracking sounds came from Lu Yunfei's body. Many of his bones were broken. Lu Feiyun was severely injured and had no strength to fight back. The surrounding spectators were all dumbfounded. They didn't expect such an outcome. If Lu Ming, who was at true D level, went to Lu Yunfei's house to fight him, the final result would be Lu Yunfei being defeated and severely injured. I told you to kneel down and apologize to my subordinates. Now kneel down to me first, Lu Ming said coldly. He controlled the ice chain and Lu Feiyun, wanting him to kneel down. Lu Ming, you dare? Lu Feiyun howled and struggled madly. However, he was already severely injured. All his bones were broken and he was bound by the ice chains. He could not break free at all. Plop. He was forced to kneel in front of Lu Ming. Lu Ming, I'll kill you! Lu Yunfei shouted hysterically. His eyes were red and his killing intent was extremely cold. What are you shouting for? You should have thought of this when you injured my men. Now, go and kowtow to my men and admit your mistake. Lu Ming was about to bring Lu Yunfei back to Enhai's residence so that he could kowtow and apologize to Enhai and the rest. The others sighed. Lu Ming was really strong and overbearing. How dare you? Let him go. At this moment, a loud shout came from the distance. At the same time, an extremely terrifying aura blotted out the sky and filled the air. The Tianhong Saint's son. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. Lu Ming knew that the Tianhong Saint's son had arrived the moment he heard the voice. Lu Ming moved and landed beside Lu Feiyun. The next moment, a young man appeared in the sky and looked down at Lu Ming. Who else could it be but the Tianhong Saint's son? The Tianhong Saint's son's eyes fell on Lu Feiyun. Cold, killing intent burst out of his eyes when he saw Lu Feiyun's miserable state. Lu Ming, did you know that Lu Feiyun is one of my men? The Tianhong Saint's son's voice was cold. So what if I know? So what if I don't know? Lu Ming sneered. It'll make you pay 10 times the price for hitting my people. The Tianhong Saint's son said. I'm afraid he'll be crippled before I pay the price. Lu Ming pointed at Lu Feiyun. You think you can use him to threaten me? You're so naive. The Tianhong Saint's son sneered. He had just finished speaking when he disappeared. Not good, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. He focused his mind, trying to capture the Tianhong Saint's son's figure. However, at this moment, a terrifying pressure pressed down on Lu Ming's body, making him feel as if he had fallen into a swamp. Break. Lu Ming let out a long howl and burst out with all his strength. He exerted his strength to the extreme. A spear's gleam soared into the sky and broke through the surrounding pressure. However, Just as Lu Ming's body regained some freedom, his 9 ice chains shook violently and suddenly shattered into pieces. Lu Feiyun was swept away by a force. Then, not far in front of Lu Ming, the Tianhong Saint's son appeared with Lu Feiyun in his hand. What powerful strength! Lu Ming's heart sank. The Tianhong Saint's son's strength was beyond his expectations. He had not even been able to react when the Tianhong Saint's son had suddenly attacked and saved Lu Feiyun from his hands. Unfathomable! Lu Ming could sense that the Tianhong Saint's son's cultivation was at least at the 3rd level of the celestial deity realm. Moreover, the divine energy he controlled was definitely of the divine grade. Lu Yunfei could not compare to him. You want to fight me with your puny strength? I'll cripple you today. The Tianhong Saint's son was very powerful. Golden divine power danced around his body, forming a terrifying wave that pressed toward Lu Ming. Bang, bang, bang. Lu Ming retreated continuously. He could not withstand the pressure and took more than 10 steps back. It was the same for Qiu. It was pushed back by the pressure and landed on Lu Ming's shoulder. Its eyes were filled with solemnity. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. The battle between the Holy Sons and Holy Virgins. Kid, you're playing with fire this time. Bone Demon sighed in his sea of consciousness. Senior, is there any way for me to have the strength to fight against Tianhong? Lu Ming asked. This time, Lu Ming did not expect the Tianhong Saint's son to arrive so quickly. However, given Lu Ming's character, even if he knew, he would still deal with Lu Feiyun. It was not in Lu Ming's character to swallow his anger. That kid is very powerful. With your current strength, there's only one way for you to fight against the Tianhong Saint's son in a short time, and that's to burn the ancient god heart completely. That way, you'll gain great power for a short time. However, the consequence is that your ancient god's heart might disappear completely. The price to pay is extremely great. Bone sighed. Burning the ancient god heart? Will it completely disappear? Lu Ming also frowned. To be able to condense the ancient god heart was a great opportunity. This kind of opportunity could only be encountered and not sought. If it was lost, there would be no more. Lu Ming could not bear to part with it. With the ancient god's heart, his divine body could grow at all times. In the long run, the benefits were very amazing. However, if there was really no other way, he could only take a gamble. Lu Ming, first of all, kneel down. The Tianhong Saint's son looked down from above. His aura was as vast as the ocean, pressing down on Lu Ming. At the same time, he extended a palm and pressed down. A huge palm, like an ancient divine mountain, pressed down on Lu Ming. The palm had not even reached him, but the terrifying pressure was already making Lu Ming's body creak. Unable to fight, completely unable to fight. The gap between the two sides was too great. Both Lu Ming and Qiu seemed very weak in front of the Tianhong Saint's son. It seems like I can only burn my ancient god heart. Lu Ming revealed a determined look. Although the ancient god's heart was precious, it was nothing compared to his life. Come on. Lu Ming made up his mind. He was ready to go all out and burn the ancient god heart. At this moment, a delicate voice shouted, Tianhong, you're a heavenly god realm saint, but you're actually dealing with a 3rd stage true god. You're really shameless. If you want to fight, it'll be your opponent. Before he finished speaking, a sword light had already flown over from the distance, like a flying immortal. Boom. The sword radiance hit the Tianhong Saint's son's palm print and a loud boom was heard. The palm print shook and was split in half by the sword radiance. Buzz. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the distant sky. Yang Xianxia. At the crucial moment, Ouyang Qingxiang made her move. She slashed open the Tianhong Saint's son's palm print. It was not that Ouyang Qingxiang was much stronger than the Tianhong Saint's son. It was just that the Tianhong Saint's son had not used his full strength in the previous attack. In order to save Lu Ming, Ouyang Qingxiang had used even more strength to break the Tianhong Saint's son's palm print. Lu Ming heaved a sigh of relief. Ouyang Qingxiang had arrived. It seemed that he did not need to burn the ancient god's heart. After all, the ancient god's heart was too precious. Lu Ming could not bear to waste it unless he had no other choice. Ouyang Qingxiang, are you trying to meddle in my business? The Tianhong Saint Sun's face turned cold as he stared at Ouyang Qingxiang. What do you mean by being a busybody? Lu Ming and I are friends. If you want to deal with him, you'll be dealing with me. Ouyang Qingxiang said. Do you think you can stop me? The Tianhong Saint Sun snorted. Golden divine power radiated from his body, and his aura grew stronger. You'll know once you try. Although you've become a saint earlier than me, you might not be able to defeat me. Ouyang Chang said coldly. An extremely powerful sword chi burst out from his body and pierced through the sky. Saintess Qingxiang and the Tianhong Saint Sun are about to make a move. It's been a long time since the Holy Sons and Holy Virgins fought each other. I'm looking forward to it. I wonder who's stronger? I don't know. Although Holy Maiden Qingxiang became a Holy Maiden later, her talent is amazing. She might not be weaker than the Tianhong Saint Sun. I didn't expect Lu Ming to be friends with Holy Maiden Qingxiang. Speaking of which, Lu Ming is indeed terrifying. If he grows up, I'm afraid he will surpass all the other Holy Sons and Holy Virgins. Only the Supreme Holy Son can fight him. That's right. I wonder how today's matter will be resolved. More and more people were gathering in this area. Even some of the inner sect elders had appeared and were watching from afar. Divine Dragon's great palm. Suddenly, the Tianhong Saint Sun let out a long roar. His divine power burst forth, and his hands formed seals continuously. With a wave of his hand, a huge dragon claw formed. It was incomparably huge and grabbed toward Ouyang Qingxiang. Song of the Green Lotus Sword. Ouyang Qingxiang murmured. Her sword momentum soared to the sky as she swung her sword. A green sword light burst forth and slashed at the huge dragon claw. Boom! The terrifying collision caused thousands of waves. It was as if the entire inner gate area was shaking violently. Let's go up and fight. Ouyang Xianxiang's voice was heard as her body turned into a green sword light and shot into the sky. A dragon's roar was heard from the Tianhong Saint Sun's body. His body suddenly changed drastically. The Tianhong Saint Sun's body became burly. His muscles bulged and he was twice as big as before. A layer of golden scales appeared on the surface of his skin. Under the sunlight, they glowed. They were dragon scales. What was even more shocking was that the Tianhong Saint Sun had grown a tail. A dragon tail. Dragon Man race. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. He recognized the Tianhong Saint Sun's race. The Tianhong Saint Sun was from the Dragon Man race. Lu Ming had seen this race before. In the Yellow Spring world of Mount Netherworld, there was a country formed by the Dragon Man race. Divine Dragon's great palm. The Tianhong Saint Sun revealed his true form, and his combat power was even stronger. He kept using the dragon god's giant palm print. 9 golden dragon claws formed in the sky and grabbed toward Ouyang Qingxiang. Song of the Green Lotus Sword, sword shaking the world. Ouyang Qingxiang turned around, and a green sword chi shot out, slashing toward the golden dragon claw. The two of them were engaged in an intense battle, and the scene was extremely shocking. Lu Ming's expression was grave. With his current abilities, he was still far from being comparable to the Tianhong Saint Sun and Ouyang Qingxiang. It's just a 4th-level celestial deity. Lu Ming, don't belittle yourself. With your talent, you'll be able to catch up to them in a few years. The Bone Demon's voice was heard. It seemed to have seen through Lu Ming's thoughts. 4th-level heavenly deity? Lu Ming nodded. He wondered what the cultivation levels of the other Holy Sons and Holy Virgins of Kongxian sect were like. Buzz. Buzz. At this time, 2 figures flew over from the distance. They were Yu Linglong and Wu Zifeng. Lu Ming, are you all right? Yu Linglong asked. I'm fine. Were you the ones who informed Holy Maiden Qingxiang? Thank you. Lu Ming smiled. Lu Ming's heart stirred. He knew that Ouyang Qingxiang must have rushed over after receiving the notice from Yu Linglong and the rest. It's good that you're fine. Yu Linglong and Wu Zifeng both nodded and looked up at the battle in the sky. divine dragon materialization art. At that moment, Ouyang Qingxiang and the Tianhong Saint's son had already exchanged more than 100 moves, and it was still difficult to determine the winner. The Tianhong Saint's son's face grew gloomier. Ouyang Qingxiang, you're the one who forced me. I'll show you my real trump card, the divine dragon phenomenon. Come out. The Tianhong Saint's son roared, and his divine power surged. Half of the sky was dyed golden. Then, a dragon's roar shook the 9 heavens. A huge true dragon appeared above the Tianhong Saint's son. No, it shouldn't be called a true dragon. In the primeval universe, all true dragons who had reached the martial god realm were called divine dragons. Seeing this divine dragon, Lu Ming was in a daze. He thought that he had returned to the era when the divine wilderness continent was fighting for supremacy. This was because this move was very similar to the move of fusing the body with the blood when one was below the martial royal realm. However, this was clearly not a bloodline technique, but a secret technique. He had used a secret technique to form a divine dragon with a terrifying aura. What surprised Lu Ming the most was that this divine dragon did not have 5 claws but 6. 6-clawed. What happened? Could it be a mutated divine dragon? Lu Ming's mind was racing. Back then, when Lu Ming had just gone to the Yuan continent, he had met Xiao Ying. Her bloodline was a 6-clawed true dragon. In the heaven realm and the primordial realm, dragons had 6 claws. Those with 7 claws and above were considered mutants of the true dragons, such as the 9 dragons. Therefore, Lu Ming naturally thought that the divine dragon that the Tianhong Saint's son had condensed was also a variant. The 6-clawed golden divine dragon roared as it pounced toward Ouyang Qingxiang with its tens of thousands of meters long body. Song of the Green Lotus Sword, soared out to kill the spirit. Facing the secret technique of the Tianhong Saint's son, Ouyang Qingxiang's expression was extremely grave. She also used her ultimate technique. Countless green sword lights burst out of her body and gathered into a green lotus flower. It spun and flew toward the 6-clawed golden divine dragon. The 6-clawed golden divine dragon bellowed and struck out with its claws. The green lotus exploded with a deafening boom. The sky was boiling and the terrifying energy surged in all directions like a tsunami. This was the most powerful collision between the holy sons and holy virgins. The scene was shocking. However, at this moment, Lu Ming's body felt like it was boiling. The blood in his body seemed to be boiling, and there were even dragon roars coming from his blood. This is the voice of the 9 dragons. Lu Ming was extremely shocked. Lu Ming had once refined 9 drops of blood essence from the 9 dragons. As Lu Ming's cultivation level continued to improve, these 9 drops of blood essence fused with Lu Ming's blood and had been hidden in his body. The Tianhong Saint's son's secret skill had actually triggered the 9 dragon blood essence. This secret skill is so powerful. If I can get it, I'll definitely be able to cultivate it to an extremely high level. Lu Ming's mind was filled with thoughts and his eyes were burning with passion. He had a feeling that the Tianhong Saint's son's secret technique was very suitable for him. It was a desire that came from the 9 dragon blood essence. The battle between the Tianhong Saint's son and Ouyang Qingxiang became even more intense. However, Ouyang Qingxiang was already at a disadvantage. The Tianhong Saint's son's secret technique, the divine dragon materialization art, was shockingly powerful. It had already begun to suppress Ouyang Qingxiang. Of course, it wasn't that Ouyang Qingxiang's Green Lotus Sword song wasn't powerful. It was terrifyingly powerful, but her cultivation was slightly weaker than the Tianhong Saint's son's. The Tianhong Saint's son's cultivation base was at the peak of the 4th level heavenly god realm, while Ouyang Qingxiang was at the early stage. At the start of the battle, it was not obvious, but as the battle went on, this gap would naturally slowly show. If this continued, it would be disadvantageous for Ouyang Xianxia. Ouyang Qingxiang, I've said it before. Don't even think about stopping me. The Tianhong Saint's son roared and used the divine dragon materialization art with all his might. The 6-clawed golden divine dragon's power became more and more terrifying. Ouyang Xianxia did not say a word and resisted with all her might. It would not be easy for the Tianhong Saint's son to win in a short time. Below, Lu Ming's eyes darted around, and he suddenly revealed a look of determination. Tianhong, aren't you just trying to attack me? I'll give you a chance. Lu Ming shouted loudly, his voice reverberating throughout the entire area. Many people, including the Tianhong Saint's son and Ouyang Qingxiang, looked at Lu Ming curiously. I'll make a bet with you, how about it? Lu Ming said. What bet? The Tianhong Saint's son said. If you attack me, I'll take one of your moves, but only one. After that, you'll have to leave, Lu Ming said. The moment he said that, there was an uproar. What? Lu Ming is going to take one of the Tianhong Saint's son's moves? Crazy, he's looking for death. That's right. The Tianhong Saint's son's one move is so terrifying. With Lu Ming's cultivation, he's dead for sure. He saw that the Tianhong Saint's son wouldn't back down today and wanted to take a gamble. Everyone looked at Lu Ming in disbelief. Lu Ming, you can't. Yu Linglong called out. That's right. Brother Lu, the Tianhong Saint's son's cultivation is too strong. You can't take the risk. Wu Zifeng also said. Lu Ming had received the Tianhong Saint's son's attack. He was doomed. The Tianhong Saint's son's eyes flashed with cold killing intent. What you said, is it true? Of course it's true. However, I have a condition. If I can take one of your moves and not die, you have to give me your divine dragon materialization technique. Lu Ming said. This was his plan. He wanted to obtain the Tianhong Saint's son's divine dragon materialization art. You want my divine dragon materialization art? Delusional. The Tianhong Saint's son's voice turned extremely cold. Why can't I? I'm betting my life with you. If I can't take one of your moves, you'll be dead. Isn't it worth it for me to use such a big price to bet a secret skill with you? Also, are you not confident in yourself? Do you think you can't kill me in one move? Lu Ming sneered. I'm not confident? What a joke. Fine, I'll bet with you. The Tianhong Saint's son shouted. With his cultivation, he could kill Lu Ming with a casual move, let alone using his full strength. Why would he not dare to take the risk? He could take the opportunity to finish off Lu Ming completely. Lu Ming, you don't have to take the risk. I can stop him. Ouyang Qingxiang sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. It's fine. I'm confident. Don't worry, Holy Maiden Qingxiang. Lu Ming replied. Ouyang Qingxiang's eyes flickered. Then, she quickly retreated and put some distance between her and the Tianhong Saint's son. The two of them stopped fighting. Nest, Lu Ming, what do you want to do? Do you want to die? Even if you want to die, don't drag me along. At this moment, in Lu Ming's sea of consciousness, the Bone Demon was in a rage. Senior Bone Demon, this junior's life is in your hands, Lu Ming said. Look at me? Look at my ass. You're looking for death. Go and bear it yourself. The Bone Devil roared. Senior Bone Demon, are you going to just watch as this junior is killed? If this junior is killed, I'm afraid that this junior will never be able to accomplish Senior Jing Ye's mission. Lu Ming sighed. You're threatening me, the Bone Devil roared. Chapter 2803 Receive a Move. How would Junior dare to threaten Senior? In my current situation, I can only take the risk. Lu Ming sighed. You? Bone Demon's bone armor trembled in anger. He gritted his teeth and said, All right, I'll help you once more. I'm telling you, this is the last time, and I don't have much energy left. I might not be able to help you block that kid's attack. You're on your own. Senior only needs to block a portion of the enemy's power for Junior. Leave the rest to Junior. Lu Ming was overjoyed. Bone could only grit his teeth and agree. Boom. At that moment, the Tianhong Saint's son appeared above Lu Ming. His violent aura kept pressing down on Lu Ming. A six-clawed divine dragon Dharma image hovered above the Tianhong Saint's son's head, looking very powerful. Kid, do you have any last words? I'll give you a chance to say them. The Tianhong Saint's son said coldly, full of confidence. If he used his full strength, even an ordinary fourth-level celestial deity would be killed by him, let alone Lu Ming. Make your move. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with a strong desire to fight. The 6 divine flames in his dantian flickered with all their might, and a scarlet gold armor appeared in front of him. At the same time, 9 ice chains flew out and surrounded Lu Ming. In addition, Qiu turned into a pool of liquid metal and climbed onto Lu Ming's body. It manifested on Lu Ming's body and turned into armor. In Lu Ming's sea of consciousness, the bone demon's body glowed. A stream of energy surged into Lu Ming's body and formed a layer of defense. Small tricks, go to hell. The Tianhong Saint's son shouted coldly, his eyes full of killing intent. The six-clawed divine dragon phenomenon roared, and one of its dragon claws swiped at Lu Ming. He wanted to kill Lu Ming in one move. Originally, it was not allowed to kill fellow disciples in Kong Xian sect's territory, especially when Lu Ming was a saint. However, Lu Ming had taken the initiative to take a blow from the Tianhong Saint's son. In that case, he was not restricted by the sect rules. This was also the reason why the Tianhong Saint's son had agreed. He could take the opportunity to kill Lu Ming. Otherwise, it would not be so easy to kill Lu Ming if he hid in the sect and refused to leave. They've made their move. Can Lu Ming block them? Lu Ming is dead. Everyone's eyes were focused on Lu Ming, and many thoughts ran through their minds. Boom. The golden dragon claw was as big as a small mountain. It struck Lu Ming's body, and the first thing to be hit was the ice chain. Bang, bang, bang. Almost instantly, the 9 ice chains all shattered. What a terrifying strength. Lu Ming was secretly shocked. Then he felt an extremely powerful force pressing down on him like an avalanche. Block it? Lu Ming let out a long howl and exerted all his strength. However, when the dragon claw pressed down, the mountain rocks under Lu Ming's feet exploded and crumbled continuously, forming a huge pit. Lu Ming was blasted into the huge pit. Smoke and dust filled the air, and his figure could not be seen at all. How is it? Is Lu Ming dead? He's definitely dead. With his cultivation, he'll definitely die after taking a blow from the Tianhong Saint's son. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the huge pit, eager to know Lu Ming's situation. Lu Ming, Yu Linglong, Wu Zifeng, and Ouyang Qingxiang also stared at the big pit with worry. This kid is finally dead. The Tianhong Saint's son smiled. He had absolute confidence in his move. Although he did not use 100% of his strength, he had used 80%. Even with 80% of his strength, he was 10,000% confident that he could kill Lu Ming. However, the next moment, the smile on the Tianhong Saint's son's face disappeared. He was in disbelief. That is, damn it, how is that possible? The Tianhong Saint's son roared. Cough, cough, cough. At this moment, a dry cough came from the big pit. The smoke and dust dispersed, and everyone finally saw the situation clearly. He saw Lu Ming lying in the huge pit, covered in blood. He was also coughing out blood. Lu Ming was severely injured, but he did not die. He didn't die, he actually didn't die. Oh my god, he took the Tianhong Saint's son's attack head-on with his cultivation and didn't die. How is that possible? Many people exclaimed out of disbelief. As for Yu Linglong, Ouyang Qingxiang, and the others, they were ecstatic. This fellow is indeed powerful. Lu Ming coughed up a few more mouthfuls of blood and circulated his divine energy to heal his injuries. He had indeed been severely injured by the attack just now. The Tianhong Saint's son was too powerful. His own defense crumbled in an instant, and Qiu was injured as well. It turned into a bangle and Lu Ming put it on. If not for Bone Demon's help, he would not have been able to withstand a single move from the Tianhong Saint's son and would have been killed. But in the end he still managed to block it. He had made the right bet. Damn it, kill? The Tianhong Saint's son was furious. He was filled with killing intent. He took a step forward and a wave of earth-shattering power charged toward Lu Ming. Tianhong, you're despicable. Ouyang Qingxiang had been staring at the Tianhong Saint's son for a long time. As soon as the Tianhong Saint's son attacked, Ouyang Qingxiang attacked as well. She slashed out with her sword, and a beam of sword light blocked the Tianhong Saint's son's attack. Tianhong, you made a bet with Lu Ming with one move. Now that you've failed to kill Lu Ming with one move, you want to make a second move. You're going back on your word. Are you qualified to be the saint of the Kong Xian sect? Ouyang Qingxiang shouted angrily. The Tianhong Saint's son had no choice but to stop. Just now, many people had seen the bet between him and Lu Ming. It was impossible for them to go back on their words now. Tianhong, you've lost. Hand over the divine dragon materialization technique. Lu Ming struggled to get up and said to the Tianhong Saint's son. The Tianhong Saint's son's face darkened. He glared at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, I've underestimated you this time. However, it's impossible for me to hand over the divine dragon materialization art. Change your condition. I'll try my best to satisfy you. The Tianhong Saint's son actually wanted to go back on his word. I don't need to change my conditions. I just want the divine dragon materialization technique. We agreed on it during the bet. Tianhong, are you going back on your word now? Lu Ming said. The Tianhong Saint's son's killing intent had reached its peak. He had promised Lu Ming previously because he did not expect that he would lose. He thought that he would definitely win and thus agreed to Lu Ming's request. Lu Ming, don't push your luck. The Tianhong Saint's son said coldly. His threat was obvious. What insatiable. What a joke. I'm just getting what I deserve. I risked my life for this. Tianhong, hand over the divine dragon materialization technique. Lu Ming said loudly. The Tianhong Saint's son gritted his teeth and wished he could cut Lu Ming into pieces. However, with so many people watching today, if he went back on his word in public, it would damage his reputation greatly. It would also be disadvantageous for him to compete for the position of the sect leader of Kongxian sect in the future. What right did a person who went back on his word have to be in charge of the Kongxian sect? 9-clawed divine dragon Lu Ming. The divine dragon materialization technique requires the blood of the divine dragon in your body to cultivate. You don't have the blood of the divine dragon. Even if I give it to you, you won't be able to cultivate it. The Tianhong Saint's son said. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to give me the divine dragon materialization technique. Lu Ming said indifferently. The Tianhong Saint's son gritted his teeth. In the end, he had no choice. His palm glowed and a scroll appeared. Here you go, the Tianhong Saint's son waved his hand, and the scroll flew out with a terrifying howl. Needless to say, the scroll contained terrifying power. Ouyang Xianxia's figure flashed as she caught the scroll. She came to Lu Ming's side and passed it to him. Many thanks. Lu Ming thanked him and took the scroll. He opened it and read it. Lu Ming's face darkened after he took a look. He looked at the Tianhong Saint's son coldly and said, The divine dragon materialization art you gave me is incomplete. Do you want to go back on your word? Although he had never come into contact with the divine dragon materialization art, he could still tell whether a secret art was complete or not. The divine dragon materialization art I obtained was incomplete. Otherwise, how could you stop me? The Tianhong Saint's son said coldly. Tianhong, if you want to go back on your word, just say it. There's no need to find such an excuse. Lu Ming revealed a mocking expression. I've said that the divine dragon materialization technique I obtained is incomplete. Don't you understand? The Tianhong Saint's son's face turned even uglier. Lu Ming, that's true. I've heard before that Tianhong's divine dragon materialization technique was obtained from an ancient relic. It's indeed incomplete. At this moment, Ouyang Xianxia spoke. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that the Tianhong Saint's son was not lying. Let's go. In the air, the Tianhong Saint's son snorted, waved his sleeves, and turned to leave. Today, he had really suffered a great loss. Not only did he fail to kill Lu Ming, but he also lost a divine dragon materialization technique. In his heart, he had already put Lu Ming on his must-kill list. The Tianhong Saint's son and his people left in dejection. Holy Maiden Xianxia, thank you for saving me this time. Lu Ming cupped his fists at Ouyang Xianxia to express his gratitude. This time, without Ouyang Xianxia, he would not have had the chance to gamble with the Tianhong Saint's son. The Tianhong Saint's son had agreed to the bet because he could not take down Ouyang Xianxia in a short time. You're welcome. This time, it's all on you. Ouyang Xianxia's beautiful eyes flickered. She was even more curious about Lu Ming. Lu Ming was only at the 3rd stage True God realm, but he could actually take a blow from the Tianhong Saint Sun and not die. The Tianhong Saint Sun's cultivation base was at the peak of the 4th level heavenly god realm. By the way, Saintess Qingxiang, why does the divine dragon Dharma form that the Tianhong Saint Sun condensed have 6 dragon claws? Lu Ming asked the question in his heart. That's a 6-clawed divine dragon. Don't tell me you don't even know that? Ouyang Qingxiang said. A 6-clawed divine dragon? Well, I don't really know much about the dragon clan. Lu Ming smiled awkwardly. In the dragon clan, the most ordinary dragon clan has 5 dragon claws. The dragon clan of a higher grade has 6 or even 7 dragon claws. Ouyang Xianxia explained. 6 dragon claws? 7 dragon claws? Isn't it because of the mutation? Lu Ming asked again. Mutation? The more dragon claws a dragon has, the purer their bloodline is, the higher their level, and the more powerful they are. In the dragon clan, most of the divine dragons are 5-clawed divine dragons, and 6-clawed divine dragons are already high-level divine dragons. There are very few of them. The more there are, the more talented and powerful they are, and the fewer they are. I heard that the highest-level divine dragon in the dragon clan has 9 claws and is called the 9-clawed divine dragon. It is extremely terrifying. Ouyang Qingxiang explained. So it's like this. It seems that my understanding of the dragon race was wrong. Lu Ming mumbled to himself and came to a sudden realization. In the past, in the heaven realm and the primordial realm, all true dragons were 5-clawed, so the occasional 6-clawed or even 9-clawed dragon was thought to be a mutation. In fact, that was not the case. The more dragon claws there were, it was not a mutation. It just meant that the ancient bloodline in the dragon claws was thicker. It seems that the 9 dragons aren't mutated. It's just the manifestation of the ancient bloodline in their bodies that has reached an extreme level. What a pity, what a pity. At the thought of this, Lu Ming sighed. It was a pity that Jiulong was born in the heaven realm, a small kiliacosm. His talent might not have been fully activated. The 9-clawed divine dragon was the highest level of divine dragon in the primeval universe. If the 9 dragons were born in the primeval universe, their achievements would be limitless. Lu Ming, if you're interested in the dragon clan, you can look for some related books to read. These are common knowledge in the prehistoric universe. Ouyang Qingxiang said. All right, he said. Lu Ming nodded. However, he thought to himself, I'm afraid common sense is not necessarily the case. In a place like the chaotic astral river, I'm afraid that the understanding of the dragon clan is very limited. Otherwise, the ancestor of technique and even the ancestral dragon would have known about the origins of the 9 dragons. They all thought that the 9 dragons were the mutants of the true dragons. Immediately, Lu Ming, Ouyang Qingxiang, Yu Linglong, and Wu Zifeng all left the place. Lu Ming first went to Enhai's residence to help him and the rest heal. A few days later, when Enhai and the others' injuries were no longer a problem, Lu Ming returned to his residence to cultivate and heal his injuries. He had taken the Tianhong Saint Sun's attack head-on and had been severely injured. It took him half a month to recover. After his injuries were healed, Lu Ming took out the secret technique, Divine Dragon Materialization Technique, and read it in detail. The Divine Dragon Materialization Technique was extremely mysterious. After successfully cultivating it, one could condense the divine dragon materialization when they circulated it. Its power was extremely shocking. Moreover, the strength of the divine dragon phenomenon that was cultivated had a lot to do with the concentration of the divine dragon's bloodline in the cultivator's body. The higher and purer the bloodline, the more terrifying the power of the divine dragon phenomenon cultivated would be. After a few days, Lu Ming had almost figured out the divine dragon materialization art. He then cultivated it according to the records on it. Unexpectedly, Lu Ming's cultivation was extremely smooth and without any difficulty. In just half a month, Lu Ming had successfully cultivated it. Lu Ming sat cross-legged in the courtyard and circulated the divine dragon materialization technique. A dragon's roar came from his body, and a divine dragon condensed above his head. This divine dragon was only a few meters long. The size of the divine dragon phenomenon could be controlled at will. Lu Ming could also change the divine dragon phenomenon to tens of thousands of meters long. What was shocking was that it had 8 dragon claws on its abdomen. It was an 8-clawed divine dragon. The Tianhong Saint's son had only cultivated a 6-clawed divine dragon dharma power, while Lu Ming had cultivated an 8-clawed divine dragon dharma power. However, Lu Ming was not satisfied. He frowned slightly. The divine dragon phenomenon that he had cultivated was supposed to be a 9-clawed divine dragon. Chapter 2805 Dragonhead. As expected, this divine dragon materialization secret technique is incomplete. If it was complete, I would definitely be able to cultivate the 9-clawed divine dragon phenomenon. I might even be able to cultivate more than 1, 2, 3, 4, or even more. Lu Ming pondered in his heart. He was extremely eager for the complete divine dragon materialization art. Think about it, once he made a move, he could directly condense dozens of divine dragons. How amazing would his power be? The divine dragon materialization art was simply too suitable for him. There was no doubt that condensing the divine dragon phenomenon would consume a lot of divine power. However, Lu Ming cultivated the universal Tao mantra and could cultivate many divine flames. His divine power was much stronger than others. Also, he had the quantity formula and did not have to worry about not having enough Shen power. The Tianhong Saint's son's divine dragon materialization technique was obtained from an ancient relic. Does that relic have a complete divine dragon phenomenon? Lu Ming pondered. He really wanted to obtain the complete divine dragon phenomenon. Once he obtained it, his combat strength would be greatly improved. Go and ask Ouyang Xianxia. Let's see if she understands. At the thought of this, Lu Ming left the courtyard and headed to Ouyang Xianxia's residence. The place where the saintess lived was naturally extraordinary. It occupied an entire mountain peak and was guarded. How impressive! Unfortunately, there are too few people who came to me. Otherwise, I could also apply for a mountain to live on. Lu Ming thought to himself. Of course, he only had 2 or 3 subordinates now. It would be a joke if he applied for a mountain with no one living in it. Stop! When Lu Ming came to the front of the mountain peak, he was blocked by a few young women. However, when the few young women saw Lu Ming's appearance clearly, they revealed looks of admiration. Holy Son Lu Ming, it's you! Holy Son Lu Ming, are you here to see our holy maiden? A few young and beautiful women blinked their big eyes and sized Lu Ming up curiously. Lu Ming had only joined the sect for a few decades and had become the holy son with his true god-level cultivation. He was simply a legend in the Kong-Xian sect. Since ancient times, beauties loved heroes. Naturally, they were curious and worshipped him. Yes, I'm here to see holy maiden Xianxia. I'll have to trouble you to inform her. Lu Ming smiled. All right, please wait a moment, holy son Lu Ming. Immediately, a young woman flew towards the mountain peak. After a while, a few figures flew out. The person in the lead was Ouyang Xianxia. Lu Ming, why are you looking for me today? Come, please come in. Ouyang Xianxia smiled and flew toward the peak with Lu Ming. They arrived at a pavilion and sat opposite each other. I'm here today to ask about Tianhong's divine dragon materialization technique. Saintess Qingxiang said that Tianhong's divine dragon materialization technique came from an ancient ruin. I wonder where that ruin is? Lu Ming asked. It seems that Brother Lu has remembered the complete divine dragon materialization technique. However, if you want to cultivate it, you need a rich divine dragon bloodline. Otherwise, even if you get it, you can't cultivate it. What does Brother Lu want the divine dragon materialization technique for? A gift? Ouyang Xianxia asked curiously. Of course I'm going to train by myself. Lu Ming said with a smile. Cultivate on your own? Ouyang Xianxia was even more curious. However, the next moment, her beautiful eyes widened as a divine dragon suddenly appeared above Lu Ming's head. Divine dragon phenomenon, and it's an 8-clawed divine dragon phenomenon. Ouyang Xianxia's red lips widened in shock, and she only recovered after a long while. Brother Lu, I've really underestimated you. I didn't expect you to have the bloodline of a divine dragon in your body. Furthermore, you've managed to cultivate the divine dragon phenomenon in just a month. It's even an 8-clawed divine dragon. I wonder what Tianhong's expression will be like when he sees this? Ouyang Xianxia exclaimed. Unfortunately, the divine dragon materialization technique that Tianhong gave me was incomplete. Lu Ming sighed. Ouyang Xianxia finally understood why Lu Ming wanted the complete divine dragon materialization technique. Tianhong found the divine dragon materialization technique in an ancient ruin, Yemo said. He's been keeping the ruin a secret all these years and has been excavating it secretly. I guess he wants to get the complete divine dragon materialization technique, but he hasn't succeeded. I once sent people to investigate and found out where the ruins were. Ouyang Xianxia said. I know. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Ouyang Xianxia nodded. The ruins are in a rather remote place in the Qin Heaven star system. It's a place called the Yellow Wind Galaxy. Lu Ming, if you want to go, I can go with you. Thank you. Lu Ming stood up to thank him. With Ouyang Xianxia going with him, his confidence would be much greater. There's no time to waste. Let's go now. Ouyang Xianxia was also a decisive person. She immediately went to the teleportation array of the Kongxian sect with Lu Ming. They took the teleportation array and rushed to the Yellow Wind Galaxy. The Yellow Wind Galaxy was very far away from the Kongxian sect. It took the two of them a month and a half to arrive at a planet in the Yellow Wind Galaxy by using the teleportation formation. After that, the two of them boarded the interplanetary warship and flew toward their destination. After flying for a few more days, a strange planet appeared in front of them. From afar, this planet looked like a dragon's head. It was like a gigantic divine dragon that had its head chopped off. Its head was floating in the air, forming a planet. This is Dragonhead Planet, Emo said. There are no living creatures on this planet. It's a desolate place. The relic of the divine dragon materialization technique that Tianhong obtained is on this planet. Now, Tianhong is probably on this planet. We should be careful not to alert him. Ouyang Xianxia said. Lu Ming nodded. Immediately, the two of them exited the interplanetary warship and appeared in the starry sky. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, he could still fly in the starry sky for a short time. As for Ouyang Xianxia, she was a heavenly god and could cross the starry sky with her own strength. The two of them concealed their auras and flew toward Dragonhead Star. Not long after, the two of them entered the atmosphere of Dragonhead Planet and landed on a mountain. The ruins should be in the east. Let's go. Ouyang Xianxia said. Dragonhead Planet wasn't very big. It was much smaller than the other life planets. In a short while, they had flown past more than half of the planets. A huge mountain range appeared in front of them, like a divine dragon lying on the ground. Suddenly they saw a figure flash by. The two of them quickly hid and watched from afar. At the head of the mountain range, there was a huge cave. A group of people were guarding the cave. There were young people and old people. It's Tianhong's men. It seems that Tianhong is indeed here. Ouyang Xianxia said. Lu Ming frowned slightly. The people from the Tianhong sect were guarding the entrance of the cave. How are they going to enter? Chapter 2806. Barging in. Lu Ming and Ouyang Xianxia simply waited at the same spot. They wanted to wait for the Tianhong Saint Sun's people to leave before entering the ruins. However, a month had passed, and the Tianhong Saint Sun's people showed no signs of leaving. Holy Maiden Xianxia, what is the cultivation level of those guards? Lu Ming asked. Some of them are very strong and are outer sect elders. Some are 3rd-level celestial deities, and 2 are 4th-level celestial deities. Ouyang Xianxia said. Oh. Holy Maiden Xianxia, can you help me distract those people? They'll sneak into the cave. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. It's not a problem to lure those people away. However, Tianhong is very likely to be in that cave. There might be other experts in there. It will be very dangerous for you to go in. Ouyang Xianxia said. I won't be impulsive. I'll sneak in and hide myself. I won't expose myself if I'm not confident. Lu Ming said. All right, let's do that. Ouyang Xianxia was also a decisive person. She immediately nodded and the two of them approached the cave. The cave was very big and dark, so he couldn't see what was inside. Outside the cave, there were more than a dozen people who looked listless. There were no other living beings here at all. They were only guarding this place just in case. Buzz. At this moment, Wuxia and Xianxia immediately rushed out. Who is it? Immediately, an old man shouted. It's Holy Maiden Xianxia. She wants to enter the ruins. Stop her. The guards roared and charged toward Wuxia and Xianxia. Over a dozen people, half of them were celestial deity realm. There were even 2 4th-level celestial deities, their combat strength very strong. However, Wuxia and Xianxia was a saintess. She had control over saint-grade divine power and was extremely powerful. She easily blocked the attacks of these people. Go and report to the saint that Wuxia and Xianxia is here. I'll go. An elder immediately rushed into the cave and disappeared. The rest of the people focused on dealing with Wuxia and Xianxia. Seizing the opportunity, Lu Ming quickly flashed along the ground, using the obstacles on the ground to hide his figure. The other party did not notice him. Lu Ming successfully rushed into the cave. The cave was dark and deep. Lu Ming slid down slowly along the wall of the cave. After sliding down for tens of thousands of meters, he finally reached the bottom of the cave. At the bottom of the cave, there was a passage that was a few thousand meters high. It was huge, and the walls were inlaid with some luminous stones that emitted a faint glow. Lu Ming dashed into the passage and kept moving forward. There's someone. Suddenly, Lu Ming had an idea. He quickly hid in a groove on the wall. The walls of the tunnel were uneven. Some of them were protruding while others were sunken. It was easy to hide. After hiding themselves, a few figures flashed through the passage. Lu Ming could clearly see that they were a few elders. They must have gone to support Wuxia and Xianxia. They were in a hurry and did not notice Lu Ming. After the few elders left, Lu Ming continued to walk forward in the passage. Not long after, Lu Ming passed through the passageway and came to a huge underground space. After Lu Ming arrived, he was stunned. The underground space was extremely vast. At the very front, there was a huge stone staircase that was 10,000 meters tall. Above the staircase was a palace that looked like the legendary Dragon Palace. At the bottom of the stairs, there were a few figures standing. Lu Ming saw at a glance that one of them was the Tianhong Saint's son. The other 2 people were 2 old men. The 2 of you, go out together and take down that B******, Wuxia and Xianxia. The Tianhong Saint's son's cold voice was heard. But Saint, once we leave, you'll be the only one left. An old man said hesitantly. It doesn't matter. I'm about to climb the sacred dragon stairs. On the sacred dragon stairs, no matter who it is, they will be under terrifying pressure and will be protected. No one who enters will be able to hurt me. You can put it down. The Tianhong Saint's son waved his hand. All right, then we'll be going out. The 2 old men nodded. Then their figures flashed and they rushed outside. The Tianhong Saint's son's eyes were burning with desire as he looked at the stairs. I don't believe that I can't climb up. I can definitely. The Tianhong Saint's son growled. His body swelled up and transformed into the form of the Dragon Man race. Golden divine power emanated from his body. He stepped onto the stairs. Bang! When the Tianhong Saint's son stepped onto the stairs, there was a huge boom, as if a mountain had fallen to the ground. The Tianhong Saint's son landed steadily on the first step and stepped up to the second. Every step he took caused the stairs to rumble. It was as if every step he took was extremely heavy. There is indeed a powerful pressure on the stairs. Lu Ming pondered. He took a look and understood what was going on. He had encountered this type of test many times. The Tianhong Saint's son was very fast at first. Soon, he had covered half the distance and started to slow down. It was obvious that the more he advanced, the greater the pressure he felt. Dragon roars came from the Tianhong Saint's son's body. The golden dragon scales on his body glowed even more brightly. His eyes were determined as he slowly climbed up. Unfortunately, after walking for a while, the Tianhong Saint's son's figure almost stopped. I don't believe it. I don't believe I can't make it. My dragon blood, boil. The Tianhong Saint's son roared. Blood-red light covered his body, and a six-clawed divine dragon appeared above his head. He had even used the divine dragon phenomenon, which allowed the Tianhong Saint's son to continue moving up. Unfortunately, when he was 2/3 up the stairs, he stopped completely and could not take another step. Damn it, why? Is my divine dragon bloodline not strong enough? The Tianhong Saint's son roared angrily. He was extremely unwilling. Is there the complete divine dragon materialization technique on it? Lu Ming made a guess. Since the Tianhong Saint's son wanted to climb the stairs so badly, it was very likely that the complete divine dragon materialization art was on it. Come closer. Lu Ming followed the obstacles at the side and slowly approached the stairs. He was getting closer and closer to the palace above the stairs. At this moment, Lu Ming actually felt that his blood was slowly boiling. At the same time, there was a kind of desire. Yes, it was a desire, a feeling that appeared in his blood. It was as if there was something on the stairs that deeply attracted Lu Ming. I must go to the top of the palace. Lu Ming muttered. His eyes were firm as he made a decision. There was a strong pressure on the stairs. The others seemed to be unable to go up. The Tianhong Saint's son was on top and had no power to attack. Lu Ming was not afraid. Chapter 2806 Scroll. Lu Ming made the decision to go up. Lu Ming was a decisive person. Since he had made his decision, he would not hesitate anymore. He did not have time to hesitate. If Ouyang Qingxiang could not hold the Tianhong Saint's son's men outside, he would be in trouble when the experts returned. Buzz. Lu Ming no longer hesitated. He dashed out and headed for the stairs. The Tianhong Saint's son noticed Lu Ming the moment he rushed out. Lu Ming, it's you. The Tianhong Saint's son roared, and his killing intent exploded. However, he was on the stairs and could not kill Lu Ming even if he wanted to. Bang! Lu Ming landed heavily on the first step of the staircase, causing a heavy boom. Immediately, Lu Ming felt a powerful force coming from the top of the stairs. It was as if it could topple mountains and overturn the seas. It pressed down on Lu Ming, trying to blast him off the stairs. You want to climb the Holy Dragon stairs without the Divine Dragon's bloodline in your body? You're daydreaming. The Tianhong Saint's son sneered and took a few steps down. He was waiting for Lu Ming to be blasted out of the Holy Dragon steps, then he would go and kill Lu Ming. This time, he wanted Lu Ming to die a miserable death. However, in the next moment, his body froze. This was because Lu Ming did not get blasted down the stairs as he had expected. Instead, he stood firmly on the stairs. You have the bloodline of a divine dragon? The Tianhong Saint's son asked gloomily. In this world, your Dragonman race isn't the only one with the bloodline of the divine dragon. Lu Ming smiled faintly. It turned out that only those who had the bloodline of the divine dragon could climb the stairs. If one did not have the bloodline of the divine dragon, they would be blasted down the stairs by the power of the stairs. Just now, when Lu Ming had just stepped onto the stairs, he had almost been blasted off. At the critical moment, the 9 dragons' blood essence in his blood boiled and he was able to stand on the stairs. So what if you have the bloodline of the divine dragon? Can you ascend it? You can't go up there. When you're exhausted, I'll be the time of your death. The Tianhong Saint's son said coldly, then strode down the stairs. He was very relaxed when he returned. The Tianhong Saint's son soon reached the first step and came to Lu Ming's side. However, there was a force guarding the steps, so he could not do anything to Lu Ming. The Tianhong Saint's son cast a murderous glance at Lu Ming and stepped out of the staircase. He landed outside the staircase and stood guard there. He was waiting for Lu Ming to exhaust his strength and fall down. Then he could kill Lu Ming. You can just wait. Lu Ming smiled contemptuously. He then turned around and strode up the stairs. Bang, bang, bang. With every step he took, the stairs would rumble. Lu Ming's speed was very fast and he had taken hundreds of steps in no time. He was even faster than the Tianhong Saint's son. This kid, how can he be so fast? The Tianhong Saint's son looked terrible. The pressure behind is getting greater and greater, and the difficulty is also getting higher and higher. This kid definitely can't go up, definitely can't. The Tianhong Saint's son kept shouting in his heart. He was a heaven's favorite of the Dragon Man race, and the divine dragon bloodline in his body was very thick. It was comparable to the six-clawed divine dragon among the divine dragons. He did not believe that Lu Ming, a human, could have a thicker divine dragon bloodline than him. However, the truth slapped him in the face. Lu Ming's speed did not slow down at all. Very soon he had crossed half of the steps, followed by 2/3. This was already the limit of the Tianhong Saint's son's journey, but Lu Ming had managed to reach this point in one go. At this point, Lu Ming's speed slowed down. The pressure here was already very shocking. The blood in Lu Ming's body churned rapidly, as if it was about to burn. A dragon's roar could be heard from the blood. A 9-headed dragon shuttled through the blood in a lifelike manner. A layer of blood mist covered the surface of Lu Ming's body. Then, the blood mist gathered into a 9-dragon in the air and roared into the sky. A 9-clawed divine dragon, it's a 9-clawed divine dragon. The Tianhong Saint's son yelled in disbelief. He was so shocked that he almost jumped. Never in his wildest dreams would he have thought that Lu Ming's body contained the bloodline of the 9-clawed divine dragon, the highest level among the divine dragons. No wonder this boy can walk so fast. It turns out that he has the bloodline of a 9-clawed divine dragon in his body. If I can snatch the bloodline of a 9-clawed divine dragon from his body and use it for my own use, my talent will be improved by many times. The Tianhong Saint's son's eyes were filled with greed. The manifestation of the 9 dragons lightened the pressure on Lu Ming and he sped up again. Very soon, Lu Ming was only 100 steps away from the end of the stairs. However, the pressure on the last 100 steps was also the most terrifying. Lu Ming's body trembled with every step he took. Divine Dragon Materialization Art, break. Lu Ming growled and activated the Divine Dragon Materialization Art. An 8-clawed divine dragon formed above his head. The divine dragon roared and pounced forward, helping Lu Ming break the pressure on the stairs. Instantly, the pressure was reduced again. Lu Ming quickly went up. Divine Dragon Materialization Art, damn it. The Tianhong Saint's son gritted his teeth when he saw Lu Ming use the Divine Dragon Materialization Art. He was both shocked and jealous. It had only been a short while, but Lu Ming had already cultivated the Divine Dragon Materialization technique and even cultivated an 8-clawed divine dragon. He had been cultivating the Divine Dragon Materialization Art for tens of thousands of years, but he had only managed to cultivate one 6-clawed divine dragon. This made him even more greedy for Lu Ming's 9-dragon bloodline. Bang, bang. The rumbling sounds on the stairs continued. Lu Ming was getting closer and closer to the top of the stairs. The Tianhong Saint's son's face grew gloomier. With the last boom, Lu Ming successfully stepped onto the platform above the stairs. Above the stairs was a majestic palace. The palace's door was open, and it was impossible to see what was inside. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. Without any hesitation, he strode forward and walked through the door. After stepping through the door, the lights suddenly brightened. Lu Ming could see the situation behind the door clearly. Behind the door was a wide hall. There was nothing else in the hall. It was empty. Lu Ming looked around but did not find anything. However, the center of the hall attracted Lu Ming's attention. In the middle of the hall, there was a stone pillar that was more than a meter tall. Above the stone pillar, there was a scroll floating, emitting a gentle light. What was amazing was that there was a small divine dragon made of energy flying around the scroll. Could it be the complete Divine Dragon Materialization Art? Lu Ming's eyes lit up and he stepped forward. Kid, there's a defensive formation on this scroll. Bone warned. A defensive formation? Then how do we break it? Lu Ming asked. It's simple. You have the blood essence of a 9-clawed divine dragon in your body. You just need to drip a drop of your blood on the scroll, and you'll naturally be able to break the formation on it. Bone said, That's simple. Lu Ming forced out a drop of blood and dripped it on the scroll. The complete Divine Dragon Materialization technique. When Lu Ming's blood dripped onto the scroll, a dragon's roar was heard from the scroll. Then, the scroll emitted a dazzling light that only disappeared after a long while. At the bottom of the stairs, the Tianhong Saint's son was extremely anxious. He was even more anxious when he suddenly heard the dragon's roar and the light above. Damn it. Did that kid already get the complete divine dragon materialization technique? The Tianhong Saint's son thought anxiously. He rushed up the stairs, but the pressure on the stairs stopped him. He could only step back unwillingly. To wait here. Lu Ming, even if you get the complete divine dragon materialization art, you'll just be making a wedding dress for me. Ah, this is good too. It saves me trouble. The Tianhong Saint's son laughed coldly. He felt better at the thought of this. In the hall, after the light on the scroll disappeared, Lu Ming reached out and grabbed the scroll. There was nothing unusual. Lu Ming opened the scroll in anticipation. There were many small words in the scroll, densely packed. Lu Ming read it carefully. After a while, he put down the scroll. The complete divine dragon materialization art. It's really the complete divine dragon materialization art. Lu Ming's face was filled with ecstasy. This scroll indeed recorded the complete divine dragon materialization technique. It was extremely mysterious, much more so than the incomplete divine dragon materialization technique. If it could be cultivated to major accomplishment, its power would definitely be shocking. It could become Lu Ming's trump card and even surpass the ice chain. How do I get down? Lu Ming kept the scroll and started to think. The Tianhong Saint's son must be guarding the bottom of the stairs. If he went down, the Tianhong Saint's son would definitely not let him go. Forget it, he'll wait for a while. If it really doesn't work, he'll just cultivate here for a while. I wonder how Holy Maiden Xianxia is doing? Lu Ming had an idea in his mind. He then started to wander around the palace. There were other doors around the palace. Lu Ming walked around but found nothing. Then he walked to the door at the end of the hall. Behind the door at the end of the hall, there was a long corridor that went straight ahead. After passing through the corridor, a beam of light suddenly shot down from above. Lu Ming looked up and realized that it was a door of light. The light was shining through the door of light. Could this be a teleportation gate? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. This is the teleportation gate. It should be an escape route that leads to the outside world. The Bone Devil's voice sounded. Ha! The heavens are on my side. Tianhong, just wait. Lu Ming laughed out loud. He then rose into the air and rushed towards the light door. Lu Ming's figure disappeared into the door of light. The next moment, Lu Ming appeared in a canyon. It's out, it's really out. Let's go find Holy Maiden Xianxia now. Lu Ming turned into a beam of light and left the place. This canyon was not far from the entrance. Very soon, Lu Ming heard a violent roar coming from the front. Wuxia and Xianxia was currently engaged in an intense battle with a group of experts. More than 10 elders were all heavenly gods. Among them, there were even 1 or 2 5th-level heavenly gods and a few 4th-level heavenly gods. Facing so many experts, Wuxia and Xianxia mainly focused on defense and was not at a disadvantage at all. Lu Ming flew over and shouted from a distance, "Holy Maiden Xianxia, let's go!" What? When she saw Lu Ming suddenly appear from behind, Wuxia and Xianxia was clearly stunned and very surprised. Lu Ming had clearly entered the cave from the entrance. Why did he suddenly run to the back? However, she didn't think too much about it and started to attack. Song of the Green Lotus Sword, die! Wuxia and Xianxia shouted as she waved her sword. Green lotuses appeared in the air, each of which emitted a terrifying sword chi that forced the elders to retreat. Wuxia and Xianxia took the opportunity to break out of the tight encirclement and flew toward Lu Ming. Are we going to chase them? An old man said. Wuxia and Xianxia is too powerful. Even if we catch up with her, we can't do anything to her. Our duty is to guard here and report this situation to the saint. Another old man said. All right. The others nodded. They did not know that Lu Ming had sneaked in and even obtained the complete divine dragon materialization technique that the Tianhong Saint's son had been dreaming of. If they had known, they would not have let Lu Ming and his companion leave so easily. An elder rushed into the cave to report to the Tianhong Saint's son. Wuxia and Xianxia had already arrived beside Lu Ming. Let's go back to the Kong Xian sect. Lu Ming said. Ouyang Xianxia did not ask any further. She and Lu Ming soared into the sky and took out the Starry Sky battleship. They boarded the battleship and left Dragon Head Planet. The Tianhong Saint Sun was still standing guard at the bottom of the stairs. "Kid, let's see how long you can stay here." The Tianhong Saint Sun snorted. His eyes were filled with killing intent and passion. After a while, an old man rushed in. "How is it? How's that be asterisk tis Ouyang Xianxia?" The Tianhong Saint Sun asked. "He's gone. He's already left." The old man replied. "He left? You're all really trash. If it wasn't for the fact that I couldn't leave this place, I would have personally suppressed her." The Tianhong Saint Sun snorted, which made the elder's face turn ugly. "Is it just Ouyang Xianxia? Are there any others?" The Tianhong Saint Sun said. "Why yes, there's one more person. It's Lu Ming. He left with Holy Maiden Xianxia," the old man said. However, before the elder could finish, the Tianhong Saint Sun yelled in disbelief. What did you just say? You mean Lu Ming?" The Tianhong Saint Sun jumped up and yelled at the elder as if he was going to eat him. The elder was shocked. He did not understand why the Tianhong Saint Sun had such a huge reaction when he heard Lu Ming's name. He was confused. "Look carefully. That's really Lu Ming and not anyone else." The Tianhong Saint Sun asked, his eyes wide. "There's no mistake. It's definitely Lu Ming." The old man said firmly. Damn it, there's still a way up there." "Damn it, chase, quickly chase," the Tianhong Saint Sun roared. He turned into a beam of light and chased after them. Outside the cave, the Tianhong Saint Sun led his subordinates and chased after the Kong Xian sect. However, it was already too late. Lu Ming and the rest had long left. In the starship, "Lu Ming, have you already obtained the complete divine dragon materialization technique?" Ouyang Xianxia asked curiously. "Not bad." Lu Ming nodded. He did not hide anything and told her what had happened in the cave. "This time, I have to thank Holy Maiden Xianxia for her help. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for me to help. In the future, if Holy Maiden Xianxia needs anything, feel free to ask. Lu Ming will definitely not refuse." Lu Ming said. "You're welcome," Yemo said. "But I'm afraid Tianhong will find out soon and will come after you. He has been trying to get the complete divine dragon materialization technique. Now that you've got it, I'm afraid he'll go crazy. We need to hurry back to Kong Xian sect to make preparations." Ouyang Xianxia said. Lu Ming nodded. The battle between the Holy Sons and Holy Virgins. After traveling for more than a month, Lu Ming and Ouyang Xianxia returned to Kong Xian sect. After returning to the Kong Xian sect, Lu Ming immediately brought An Hai, Lu Chang, and Zhao Feng to Ouyang Xianxia's residence. "Chiyue is still in the Divine Pulse Tower. I hope she doesn't come out during this time," Lu Ming pondered. However, Lu Ming had kept a low profile when he brought Qiuyu to the Kong Xian sect. Not many people knew about his relationship with Qiuyu, so she should be fine. After Ouyang Xianxia returned to her residence, she gathered many experts from her faction and stationed them on the mountain peak where she lived. Not long after Lu Ming and the rest returned, the Tianhong Saint Sun returned with his men. The moment he returned, he rushed to Lu Ming's residence. When he did not find Lu Ming, he went to An Hai. The residences of Lu Chang and the others were also empty. You're definitely hiding at that B** T** Ouyang Xianxia's place. Don't think that you'll be fine just because you're hiding there. If you don't hand over the divine dragon materialization art, it'll kill you even if you hide at the ends of the earth." The Tianhong Saint Sun's furious roar was heard. He then gathered a large number of experts and charged toward Ouyang Xianxia's residence. Why did the Tianhong Saint Sun suddenly gather so many experts? Something big has happened. Something big must have happened. He is heading towards where Saintess Xianxia lives. Does he want to start a war with her? Quick, inform the saint. The Tianhong Saint Sun had gathered so many experts and rushed toward Ouyang Xianxia's residence in an overbearing manner. Naturally, this could not be hidden from the others. The people from the other Saint Sun's factions soon found out and many of them rushed toward Ouyang Xianxia's residence. At Ouyang Xianxiang's residence, Lu Ming, Ouyang Xianxia, and the rest were having a meeting. "They're here." An old woman suddenly spoke and looked outside. The old woman was an inner court elder from Ouyang Xianxiang's faction. She was extremely powerful. "They came quite quickly. Let's go out and welcome them." Ouyang Xianxia sneered. They walked out of the courtyard and stood in the air. Boom, boom, boom. In the distance, there was a rumbling explosion, and then waves of terrifying divine power surged over like thousands of soldiers. However, there were also many experts gathered at Ouyang Xianxiang's residence. All of them released their auras, and their auras shot up into the sky like smoke, crushing the surging waves of divine power. On the horizon, a black mass of people appeared. There were more than 1,000 people. The person in the lead was the Tianhong Saint's son. The Tianhong Saint's son and his people stopped 1,000 miles away. Lu Ming. The Tianhong Saint's son's eyes fell on Lu Ming, filled with murderous intent and greed. "Tianhong, what do you want to do by bringing so many people here in such an aggressive manner?" Ouyang Xianxia asked despite already knowing the answer. "What do you want?" "It's very simple. Hand Lu Ming over to me and I'll leave with my men immediately." The Tianhong Saint's son said. "Give you holy son Lu Ming? What a joke, Lu Ming is also a saint. He can't be taken away by just anyone." Ouyang Xianxia sneered. "Today, I must take Lu Ming away. Whoever stops me will be my enemy. I will not hesitate to fight." The Tianhong Saint's son said coldly. Not only did Lu Ming take the complete divine dragon materialization art, but he also had the bloodline of the 9-clawed divine dragon. To the Tianhong Saint's son, Lu Ming was a huge treasure trove. As long as he could obtain Lu Ming's 9-clawed divine dragon bloodline and the complete divine dragon materialization technique, his combat strength would definitely be elevated to an astonishing level. He could even surpass the Supreme Holy Son and become the #1 Holy Son of the Kong-Xian sect. In that case, the position of the future sect leader of the Kong-Xian sect would be in his pocket. When he thought of this, his heart was burning with passion. He had to get Lu Ming. "If you want to fight, then fight. Do you think I'll be afraid of you?" Ouyang Xianxia was extremely domineering. "Good, very good. Today, I'll destroy your sect. Attack and take down Lu Ming." The Tianhong Saint's son roared. Boom, 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 boom. The experts from the Tianhong Saint's son's faction and Ouyang Xianxiang's faction all unleashed terrifying auras. They clashed in the air, creating powerful shockwaves. There were quite a few inner sect elders here. They were all peak heavenly god realm existences. At this moment, the clash of auras was earth-shaking. Then, a few figures soared into the sky. In an instant, they had rushed out of the atmosphere and were fighting in the starry sky. A peak heavenly god was too terrifying. If they fought within the atmosphere, the damage to the earth would be unimaginable. Kill! The most powerful people fought beyond the starry sky, while the Tianhong Saint's son and the others attacked Ouyang Xianxia and Lu Ming. Attack! Ouyang Xianxia and the others did not back down and also charged over. Ouyang Xianxia once again engaged the Tianhong Saint's son in battle. Capture Lu Ming. Take him down. A few heavenly god-level powerhouses charged at Lu Ming. Fortunately, Ouyang Xianxia also had an expert by Lu Ming's side who blocked the other party's attack. Thousands of experts from both sides were engaged in a fierce battle. And this area was already surrounded by people. Even Saint Sun Jixia and Saintess Xuetan had come. What exactly happened? Tianhong actually led his men to fight Ouyang Xianxia. Saint Sun Jixia said, full of doubts. "I don't know, but it must be something big. Otherwise, the Tianhong Saint Sun wouldn't be so crazy. He's bent on capturing Lu Ming. I guess Lu Ming has offended him again." Holy Maiden Xuetan said. However, they would not stop them. They were looking forward to the battle between the Tianhong Saint's son and Ouyang Xianxia. It would be best if both of them were seriously injured. That way, they would have less competition. The battle was getting more and more intense, and there were even people who had fallen. Boom. At this moment, a huge hand suddenly appeared in the starry sky. This huge hand was boundlessly huge, and it pressed down on the inner sect elders who were fighting. God King! The inner sect elders screamed in horror. Then, they were crushed by the big hand, and they were blasted into the atmosphere like meteorites falling to the ground. Then, a figure suddenly appeared in the sky, exuding a terrifying pressure that pressed down on the people from the Tianhong Saint Sun's and Ouyang Qingxiang's factions. The people of the two factions were immediately locked in the air by this energy, unable to move. Brat, a God King has appeared. I'm going to hide. Bone's voice rang out before disappearing into Jing Ye's portrait. God King, what a terrifying pressure. Lu Ming looked at the figure in the sky, his eyes filled with shock. At this moment, his body couldn't move at all under the pressure. Even the high-level divine realm experts couldn't move an inch. It's the deputy hall master of the enforcement hall. Someone exclaimed. The Tianhong Saint Sun, Ouyang Xianxia, and the others also looked serious. Clearly, their battle had alerted the tribunal council. Even the divine king vice hall master had come personally. As holy sons and holy virgins, you actually led your fellow disciples to kill each other. How can you do that? The authoritative voice of the enforcement hall's vice hall master sounded. Chapter 2811 Opening the Bronze Door Deputy Hall Master, it's Tianhong. He suddenly sent people to attack me. I could only lead my men to resist. Ouyang Xianxia was the first to speak. Bullsh *T. You and that Lu Ming kid joined forces and snatched my treasure. It's only right and proper for me to take Lu Ming and take back my treasure. The Tianhong Saint Sun roared. What a joke, what treasure! That's a secret technique from a relic. As long as you haven't obtained anything from the relic, you'll get a share. You're the useless one who can't get it, and now that I've got it, I have to give it to you? Lu Ming's mocking voice was heard. I've already discovered the ruins. The Tianhong Saint Sun roared, bursting with cold killing intent. He glared at Lu Ming ferociously, wanting to cut him into pieces. Ha, laughable, even more laughable. You're a saint child, yet you actually said such laughable words. According to your logic, as long as I explore all the ruins, once I find it, it'll be mine, and no one else is allowed to enter? Is that even possible? I'm really suspicious. How did you become the saint with such a brain? There are still so many people who want to join you? Hey, all of you who have submitted to Tianhong, think carefully. There's no future in following such a person. Why don't you all come and submit to me? Lu Ming laughed heartily. What did you just say? Piece of H*T, I'm going to kill you. The Tianhong Saint Sun was furious. His eyes were burning with rage. He wanted to rush up and kill Lu Ming. Unfortunately, he could not move under the pressure of the vice hall master of the law enforcement hall. All right, no matter what grudges you have between yourselves, you'll be severely punished for killing your fellow sect members within the sect. The vice hall master of the enforcement hall spoke. His voice was filled with dignity and killing intent, causing many people to shiver. The vice hall master of the law enforcement hall was famous for his strictness in law enforcement. Even the Tianhong Saint Sun felt his heart turn cold and suppressed his anger. Tianhong, you started the fight first. It's your fault. They'll give you 3 days to hand over 200,000 points, then go to the wall-facing cliff and face the wall for 20 years. Do you agree? The vice hall master of the law enforcement hall looked at the Tianhong Saint Sun coldly. The Tianhong Saint Sun was very unconvinced, but he didn't dare to say no. Yes. The Tianhong Saint Sun lowered his head. His killing intent had reached its peak. Lu Ming, if I don't kill you, I'm not a human. The bloodline of the 9-clawed divine dragon and the divine dragon materialization art are all mine. The Tianhong Saint Sun roared in his heart. Qingxiang, since you were on the defensive and you are not in the wrong, you will be punished to face the wall for 10 years. Are you willing to accept this? The vice hall master of the enforcement hall looked at Ouyang Qingxiang. This disciple is sincerely convinced. Ouyang Qingxiang nodded. All right, now, let's all disperse. The vice palace master of the enforcement palace waved his hand, and the pressure disappeared without a trace. Let's go. The Tianhong Saint's son growled and left with his men. It's over. The holy sons Ji Xia and Shui Tan were a little disappointed and left one after another. Holy son Qingxiang, Lu Ming has implicated you. Lu Ming looked at Ouyang Qingxiang apologetically. It was all because of Lu Ming that Ouyang Qingxiang was punished. Moreover, some people from her faction had fallen and many people were injured. Lu Ming felt a little apologetic. It's okay. They'll just have to face the wall for 10 years. I'll pass in the blink of an eye. I can train my state of mind. However, the Tianhong Saint's son has also been punished. He won't dare to make a move in the sect for a while. However, you still have to be careful outside the sect. Tianhong won't let this go easily. Ouyang Qingxiang said. Lu Ming nodded. Not long after, Lu Ming bade farewell to Ouyang Qingxiang and returned to his residence. The days after that were indeed peaceful. The Tianhong Saint's son did not send anyone to deal with Lu Ming. I still have to increase my strength as soon as possible. Now that Qiuqiu has broken through to the 8th stage True God realm, it's a great help for me. If Qiuqiu can break through to the Celestial God realm, it'll be great. I'll go exchange for some divine weapon fragments for Qiuqiu to eat. Lu Ming pondered and then sorted out all the storage rings he had on him. During this period of time, he had killed many powerful enemies and obtained many storage rings. The number of treasures and divine crystals he had collected was shocking. Lu Ming exchanged most of the treasures and divine crystals for points. He then used the points to exchange for a large number of fragments of the divine artifact. Even the lowest grade was a fragment of a middle grade level 9 divine artifact. There were even some fragments of high-grade divine artifacts. The price of a high-grade divine artifact, even if it was just a fragment, was astonishingly high. As such, Lu Ming did not have many points left. After returning to his residence, Lu Ming gave all the divine artifact fragments to Qiuqiu and let it eat them slowly. As for himself, he began to comprehend the complete divine dragon materialization technique. The complete divine dragon materialization technique was much more difficult to cultivate, and it also took a lot more time. However, Lu Ming had only used half a year to successfully cultivate the complete divine dragon materialization technique. A dragon's roar was heard, and a divine dragon condensed above his head. This divine dragon had 9 claws and was extremely similar to the 9 dragons. It was a 9-clawed divine dragon. Lu Ming had finally cultivated the 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma power. As long as Lu Ming willed it, the 9-clawed divine dragon Dharma power would pounce out to attack the enemy. Its power was astonishing. Of course, the divine dragon materialization art was still far from completion. As Lu Ming's understanding deepened, he could cultivate a second, third, and even more divine dragon phenomenon in the future. In the days that followed, Lu Ming cultivated in peace. They took turns to cultivate all kinds of divine skills and secret techniques. Cultivation knew no time. To immortals, a few decades was too short. It would pass in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 years had passed. In the past 20 years, Lu Ming had entered a period of stability. He did not improve much in all aspects. His main focus was to stabilize and build a solid foundation. On the other hand, Qiuqiu had swallowed a large number of divine weapon fragments, and its cultivation had improved a step further, reaching stage 9 True God. As for Qiuyu, she had been cultivating in a secret room in the Divine Pulse Tower for more than 20 years. Lu Ming had also gone to take a look. The secret chamber exuded Qiuyu's life aura. Everything was normal, so Lu Ming had nothing to worry about. At this moment, a piece of news spread like a hurricane to the Qin Heaven 13 clans and some other powerful forces. On the ancient god star, the array on the bronze door was finally broken. Some of the strongest formation masters in the Qin Heaven starfield, after decades of hard work, finally broke the formation above and opened the bronze door. Many people had already gone in to explore, but the results were shocking. Behind the bronze door was a world, an ancient world. Inside, there were many heavenly treasures, many of which had already gone extinct in the outside world. Chapter 2811 Ancient Gods World. Once the news was out, all the major forces in the Qin Heaven Star Zone and countless experts gathered on the ancient God Star. Lu Ming was so focused on his closed-door cultivation that he did not know about this news. When he found out, it was already a month later. It was Ouyang Qingxiang who told him. One day, Ouyang Qingxiang found Lu Ming and told him the news. The bronze gate of the ancient God Star has opened? Lu Ming was very interested after hearing that. The bronze door had appeared in the holy land of the descendants of the ancient gods, so it must have something to do with them. Lu Ming had condensed the heart of the ancient god, so he was very interested in it. That's right. It was opened a month ago. I was also in seclusion. I just received the news that there is an ancient world inside with countless natural treasures. Many experts from all the major forces have entered. I'm looking for you because I want to join hands with you and go in together. What do you think? Ouyang Qingxiang said. All right. Lu Ming did not hesitate and nodded in agreement. After that, Lu Ming led an Hai, Lu Chang and Zhao Feng. Ouyang Xianxia led a group of experts from her faction. Yu Linglong and Wu Zifeng were also in the group as they headed toward the ancient God Star. After a long journey, they arrived at a place not far from the bronze gate of the ancient God Star. Lu Ming was rather emotional when he came here again. So many experts. Lu Ming sensed that there was a terrifying aura looming around the bronze door. Each of these auras was extremely powerful and gave off a pressure as deep as the ocean. God King. These auras were all divine kings, no less than a dozen of them. There were dozens of divine king experts gathered near the bronze door. Didn't they say that most of the experts have already entered the world behind the bronze door? Why are there so many divine kings here? Lu Ming asked. I've heard that it's very hard for divine king experts to enter the bronze door. Ouyang Qingxiang said. Oh, god kings are not allowed to enter? Lu Ming said. It's not that they can't enter at all. It's said that there's another layer of energy above the bronze door that can stop divine kings from entering. This power is extremely mysterious. Even the strongest group of formation masters in the Qin Heaven Star region would not be able to break it. However, they managed to create a formation that can only send a dozen or so god kings into the bronze door. After some discussion, the Qin Heaven 13 clans, the Ice Soul clan, and the Scarlet Flame clan, a total of 15 forces, will send one god king in each. Ouyang Qingxiang said. Lu Ming finally understood. It turned out that the divine kings could not enter in large numbers. The 15 strongest forces of the Qin Heaven Star Zone had each sent one divine king in. As for those below the God King realm, they could enter and leave as they pleased. Lu Ming felt a little helpless. He had thought that after most of the people had entered the bronze door, he could take the opportunity to let Qiuqiu bite the bronze door. Now, it seemed that this idea would not work. With so many divine king peerless experts guarding it, how could he have the chance to let Qiuqiu bite the bronze door? If he really did that, Qiuqiu would probably be taken away by those experts for research immediately. It is said that the world behind the bronze door is vast and boundless. However, there are also terrifying dangers inside. There is an evil creature that lives inside. It's like a demon and a devil at the same time. It's called the demon. Now, every force has built a city inside as their base. The god kings are guarding the city against the demons. Ouyang Qingxiang explained. As they flew, they walked towards the bronze door. No one stopped them. In fact, anyone below the god king realm would not be stopped if they wanted to enter. Even those from small factions would not be stopped. However, without a god king, it would be extremely dangerous for a faction that had built a city as a base to enter. There was a high chance that they would die at the hands of Yaoma. The huge bronze door was open, and it was pitch black inside. Let's go, Ouyang Qingxiang said, and the group flew toward the bronze door. In addition to them, there were many other people from other forces. They flew into the gate with them. After a moment of dizziness, Lu Ming realized that they had appeared on a huge platform. Lu Ming looked up. There was a huge vortex in the sky above his head. This vortex was the entrance and the exit. Lu Ming saw many people covered in blood. They rose into the air and disappeared into the vortex. They must have gone out from here. These people should be from some small forces. They didn't build a base here and didn't have a god king. They were injured from fighting with the demons and had no place to recuperate, so they could only leave. Ouyang Xianxia explained. Lu Ming nodded. Those who went out now should be people from small forces. For example, the Qin Heaven 13 clans, the Ice Soul clan, and the Scarlet Flame clan all had bases. If they were injured, they could recuperate in the bases and did not need to go out at all. Boundless sacred land, come to me. I'll take you to the base, people of the Winged Demon Academy, come to me. I'll take you to the base, people of Kong Xian sect, come to me. I'll bring you to the base. Around the platform, voices rang out. It turned out that there were people from the major forces around the platform, while the people from the small forces could only watch and envy. That's the person from the Kong Xian sect. Let's go over. Ouyang Xianxia and the others walked in one direction. There were many powerful cultivators from the Kong Xian sect there. Holy Maiden Xianxia, Holy Son Lu Ming, come with me. One of the elders was an inner sect elder of the Kong Xian sect. He recognized Lu Ming and Ouyang Xianxia at a glance. The group followed the inner sect elder and flew away. But at this moment, a sudden change occurred. Boom, boom, boom. In the sky, the vortex shook violently and let out a deafening roar. What's going on? Why is the space gate suddenly shaking? Many people's expressions changed drastically. But then, the vortex shook even more violently. Boom, boom. Then, there was a terrifying explosion. The vortex began to collapse. That's right, it started to collapse. A terrifying power spread out and wreaked havoc in all directions. Not good, quickly leave. Quickly retreat. Many people shouted and flew around the platform. Lu Ming and the rest also left far away. When everyone had flown far enough, they turned back and were completely dumbfounded. The vortex was gone. That's right, that vortex had already disappeared without a trace. The spatial path is gone. We're doomed. Are we going to be trapped here forever? What's going on? Does anyone know what's going on? The scene was in an uproar, and many people were shouting in fear. Without the spatial path, they would be trapped here for the rest of their lives. Overbearing, the faces of Lu Ming, Ouyang Xianxia, and the rest darkened. This was just too unlucky. They had just entered and the spatial path had already collapsed. If it had collapsed a bit earlier, they would not have been able to enter. Everyone, don't panic. There are many God Kings and Formation Masters outside. They'll definitely think of a way to reopen the spatial path. An old man shouted. Some of the elders who had lived for countless years had experienced great storms and waves, so they quickly calmed down. Hearing this, many people calmed down. Indeed, there were still many God King experts and array masters outside. They would definitely not let so many people be trapped here. They would definitely think of a way to reopen the door. Holy Maiden Xianxia, Holy Son Lu Ming, now that the spatial gate has collapsed, there's no point in guarding here. Why don't we go to the base first? I need to report the situation here to the Divine King at the base. The inner sect elder said. All right. Lu Ming and Ouyang Xianxia both nodded. Since the space gate had collapsed, they could only stay in this world and cultivate for a while. The people from the other sects and powers had similar thoughts. They left some people to guard this place while the others flew toward their respective bases. When the spatial path had collapsed, the bronze gate of the ancient God Star had also undergone a major change. The bronze door that was originally open suddenly emitted a bright radiance and slowly closed. Not good. What's going on? Quickly stop him. There were at least a few dozen divine kings around the bronze door. They were all shocked and struck at the door with terrifying energy, trying to stop the door from closing. However, it was of no use. The bronze door continued to close at a constant speed. Clang. In the end, the bronze door was completely shut. Master, what's going on? A God King from the unique Demon Academy looked at a Formation Master with a gloomy expression. The Formation Master furrowed his brows as he pondered. After a while, he shook his head and said, Strange, I don't know what's going on either. I wonder what's going on. the expressions of the other god kings all changed. Many people from the major powers had entered the Bronze Gate, including some of the top geniuses. If these people couldn't come out, it would be a fatal loss to the major powers. The only thing we can do now is to continue studying and think of a way to open the door again. The other formation master also said helplessly. Then he'll have to trouble everyone. A God King expert said. Immediately, a few formation masters began to study it carefully. After a long time, one of the formation masters said with a serious expression, "This formation has become even stronger after it was shut down. I'm afraid it'll take even longer to open it." "How much time do you need?" someone asked. "A few decades at least, a few hundred years at most." A formation master said. "Several hundred years? That's fine. Then he'll have to trouble the masters to break it." The various god kings nodded their heads. It would take a few hundred years to open it, so the situation wasn't too bad. At that moment, Lu Ming, Ouyang Qingxiang, and the rest followed the inner sect elder of the Kongxian sect and flew for a distance before a huge city appeared in front of them. This city was built between two great ravines, leaning against a natural barrier, looking extremely majestic. This was the new base that the Kongxian sect had built recently. Those from the Kongxian sect who had entered this world were all gathered in this base. The group flew in and saw stone houses in the city. "You guys can go and find an open space and build your own stone houses. Also, you can enter and leave the city freely. There is no one to restrict you. However, the demons outside are very strange and powerful. You have to be careful when you go out and risk your lives," the inner court elder warned, and after that, the inner court elder flew away. Lu Ming, Ouyang Qingxiang, and the rest swept their gazes across the area before flying toward an empty space. This city was extremely large, and there were large areas of empty land. Lu Ming! Suddenly, an explosive roar filled with cold, killing intent was heard. At the side, a group of figures flew out from a stone house and blocked Lu Ming and the rest's way. "Tianhong!" Lu Ming narrowed his eyes. The person in the lead was the Tianhong Saint's son. The Tianhong Saint's son looked at Lu Ming with a ferocious gaze and sneered. "You've also come to the world of ancient gods. Good, very good. Let's see who can protect you here. Tianhong, don't think too highly of yourself. If you want to fight, we're not afraid of you." Ouyang Qingxiang sneered. "Oh, what if I'm included?" A cold voice came from behind. Then, another group of people flew over. "Floating light." Ouyang Xianxiang's expression changed. The group of people behind him was the sacred son of reflection and his subordinates. They had surrounded Lu Ming and the rest. "Floating light, when did you join forces with Tianhong?" Ouyang Qingxiang said coldly. "I can't say that we're working together. However, Lu Ming has killed many of my men. I'm just going to settle this score with him." The sacred son sneered, and cold killing intent spread out. The Tianhong Saint's son and the transient light Saint's son surrounded Lu Ming and the others. Their cold killing intent made many people's expressions change. However, Ouyang Qingxiang remained calm because she knew of a rule. "You dare to make a move here? According to what I know, the God King has given the order that fighting is prohibited in this city to prevent demons from taking advantage of the situation. Do you dare to disobey the God King's order?" Ouyang Qingxiang sneered. The Tianhong Saint's son and the transient light Saint's son's faces darkened. The God King who was guarding the city had indeed given this order. And they did not dare to disobey. So what if it's like this? Once you leave this city, no one will care about you unless you stay in this city forever and never go out. The Tianhong Saint's son sneered. "That's right. They'll send people to keep an eye on you. Since you've come here, you'll be holed up in this city forever." The Gu Guang Holy Son sneered. Ouyang Xianxiang's expression turned ugly. Coming to this world, of course, he had to go out and adventure to obtain the natural treasures outside. Otherwise, what was he doing here? Instead of staying in this city, he might as well stay in the Kongxian sect and cultivate. The Tianhong Saint's son and the transient light Saint's son smiled delightedly when they saw Ouyang Qingxiang's ugly expression. "Holy Maiden Qingxiang, let's go. I can't be bothered with these mad dogs." At this moment, Lu Ming spoke indifferently and stepped forward. What did you just say? The Tianhong Saint's son and the transient light Saint's son's faces turned red. Good dogs don't block the way. Lu Ming glanced at the Tianhong Saint's son in disdain. The Tianhong Saint's son was so furious that he almost vomited blood. He wanted to slap Lu Ming to death. Lu Ming's trump card, however, the Tianhong Saint's son held back in the end and did not dare to attack. The orders of a god king could not be disobeyed, even if he was the saint. Lu Ming, you'd better not leave this city. Otherwise, I'll make sure you die an ugly death. The Tianhong Saint's son left with his men after saying that. The sacred son of reflection snorted and left with his men. Of course, they had left some people behind to monitor Lu Ming and the rest from a distance. If Lu Ming and the rest left the city, they would launch a lightning-fast attack. As for Lu Ming and the rest, they went to the empty space to build stone houses. With their cultivation, it was too easy to build stone houses. In minutes, huge stone houses were rising from the ground. For the next few days, they stayed here and did not leave the city. That was because the Tianhong Saint's son and the sacred son of reflection had sent people to keep an eye on him. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 days had passed, and the situation was still the same. Holy Maiden Xianxia, you guys go out of the city first. I'll stay in the city alone. Lu Ming said. Shall we leave the city first? Ouyang Xianxiang's expression changed. That's right. Tianhong, the person floating light wants me. Without me around, they won't do anything to you guys. You guys can leave the city first. It'll be easier for me to act alone. I'll also think of a way to leave the city. Lu Ming said. During this time, they found that many people who came back from the city had a big harvest. The natural treasures here were really amazing. This world was like the ancient world when the primeval universe first came into being. All kinds of natural treasures were extremely abundant and no one had ever mined them. It was really not worth it to stay in the city and not go out. Then you have to be careful. Ouyang Xianxia pondered for a moment before nodding. This was the only plan he could do now. Ouyang Xianxia then led her faction, and Hai, Lu Chang, and Zhao Feng out of the city, disappearing into the vast world. Holy Sun, Ouyang Xianxia and the rest have left the city, but Lu Ming hasn't. He's still in the city. Someone reported to the Tianhong Saint's son as soon as Ouyang Xianxia left. The Tianhong Saint's son hadn't left the city during this time. He had been guarding it. Lu Ming didn't leave? The Tianhong Saint's son's eyes glinted coldly. Saint, what should we do now? Someone asked. It's easy to deal with Lu Ming alone. Leave a few experts behind to keep an eye on him. Once he leaves the city, kill him without mercy. The Tianhong Saint's son said coldly. After that, he left a few experts behind to keep an eye on Lu Ming while he led his men and left the city. They were cooped up in the city every day, unable to obtain anything and unable to afford to waste time. Therefore, since Lu Ming was alone, he did not have to guard the place personally. He could not afford to waste his time if Lu Ming stayed in the city and did not move. On the other side, after the sacred son of reflection received the news, he had the same plan as the Tianhong sacred son. He left a few experts behind to keep an eye on Lu Ming while he left the city with his men. After Ouyang Xianxia and the rest left, Lu Ming leisurely cultivated in the city. Just a little more. Lu Ming muttered. His 9 heavenly Kunpeng technique was about to break through to the 5th level. As long as he broke through to the 5th level, in addition to the follow-up move he had prepared, he was confident that he could shake off those people who were watching him and leave the city. Tianhong, floating light, Lu Ming, will make you regret this sooner or later. A cold glint flashed across Lu Ming's eyes. He then returned to the stone house to continue cultivating. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed. It's done. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. After a few months of cultivation, Lu Ming's 9 heavenly Kunpeng technique had finally reached the 5th level. His speed had increased greatly. It's time to leave. Lu Ming left the stone house and flew toward the city gate. Lu Ming is leaving. Follow him. When he leaves the city, well, kill him. The moment Lu Ming moved, the people left behind by the Tianhong Saint Sun and the transient light Saint Sun immediately caught wind of the news. Each of them had cold, killing intent in their eyes as they followed Lu Ming from a distance. Lu Ming did not hesitate when he arrived at the city's gate. He dashed out immediately and cast the 9 heavenly Kuan Prng technique, charging into the vast forest ahead. What dense divine qi, what an ancient aura. As soon as he entered the forest, he was immediately hit by a primitive and ancient aura. Moreover, the trees in the forest were particularly tall. Giant trees that were dozens of meters in diameter, hundreds of meters in diameter, and thousands of meters in height could be seen everywhere, giving one a feeling of returning to the prehistoric times. Chase. The experts left behind by the Tianhong Saint Sun and the sacred Sun of Reflection were all middle-aged men or white-haired elders. They were all powerful sky celestial realm experts. As soon as they rushed out of the city gate, they quickly chased after Lu Ming. A few old fellows, a cold glint flashed in Lu Ming's eyes as he increased his speed. Like a ROC, he flew across the sky at an astonishing speed. However, the ones chasing after him were all celestial gods. There were even second-level celestial gods. Their cultivation levels were much higher than Lu Ming's and their speed was too fast. The distance between them and Lu Ming was constantly closing. Lu Ming, you can't escape. Die. An old man coldly shouted. Is that so? Lu Ming sneered. However, he had no intention of stopping the battle. The people left behind by the Tianhong Saint Sun and the transient light Saint Sun were all shockingly powerful. None of them were weaker than Lu Feiyun, and some of them were even more powerful than him. Even if Qiuqiu broke through to 9th stage true god now, if they stopped to fight, it would only be a road to death. Lu Ming's palm glowed and a black jade talisman appeared in his hand. He squeezed hard and the jade talisman exploded. A surge of energy wrapped around Lu Ming. A strange scene appeared. Lu Ming's body split into 2, then into 4, then into 8. In the end, it split into a total of 32 figures. The 32 Lu Ming silhouettes had the exact same aura. They flew in different directions at high speed. This was Lu Ming's next move. The jade talisman was a kind of jade talisman that Lu Ming had refined after consulting the bone demon. It was very effective in escaping at critical moments. However, the materials to refine such a jade talisman were too difficult to find. Lu Ming had searched the entire Kongxian sect and could only find the materials to refine one piece. 32 figures with the exact same aura appeared all of a sudden. Those who were chasing Lu Ming were instantly dumbfounded. What's going on? Damn, it's split up and chase? Someone roared. They had no choice but to split up and pursue. However, in the end, they discovered that what they were chasing were all fake. After a period of time, they had all turned into energy and dissipated. Lu Ming's real body had long disappeared. Damn it! The people left behind by the Tianhong Saint Sun and the sacred Sun of Reflection gathered together again. They look terrible. Continue searching. I don't believe that he can escape to the sky. An elder bellowed and planned to continue the search. They had so many experts, but they let Lu Ming escape right under their noses. It would be difficult to explain to the 2 saint children when they asked. Chapter 2814 Demon Lu Ming shook off his pursuers and went deep into the forest. This world is truly wonderful. After shaking off those people, Lu Ming slowed down and sized up his surroundings. This world was full of vitality, ancient trees reached the sky, and all kinds of plants were lush and full of powerful spirituality. Any one of these plants would be an emperor's medicine in the heaven realm and the primordial realm. However, they were not of much use to Lu Ming. Lu Ming spread out his spiritual sense. He was looking for those precious natural treasures. That is, dragon ginseng. Lu Ming's eyes lit up after traveling for a while. He saw a dragon ginseng, but the pillar dragon ginseng was too big, which surprised him. As the name suggested, the average dragon ginseng was as long and thin as a dragon's beard. It was a rare divine medicine that could be used to refine divine pills that could increase the cultivation of heavenly gods. It was very precious. However, the dragon ginseng in front of him was as thick as Lu Ming's arm. It was dozens of times thicker than the average dragon ginseng. Such a huge dragon ginseng, huh? Lu Ming was overjoyed. Brat, this kind of divine medicine contains a strong qi of desolation. It's not easy to refine it. In his sea of consciousness, the voice of the quantity formula sounded. Desolation qi? Lu Ming was puzzled. That's right. This world is very ancient and undeveloped. That's why there's primal qi in it. These divine herbs all contain primal qi. It's difficult for ordinary people to refine them. Only by refining the primal qi inside can they absorb the energy inside the divine herbs. The quantity formula explained. Lu Ming nodded. It seemed that although the effects of the divine medicine here were very strong, it was still more difficult to refine it directly. The best choice was to bring it out and let the alchemist refine it into divine pills. But little brat, you have me, so you don't have to worry about this. Give me this dragon ginseng, I can help you refine it into pure energy for you to absorb. The quantity formula said proudly. Hey, you said you'd refine the ancient god flower's energy and give it to me last time. It's been decades and you still haven't refined it? Lu Ming asked. What do you know? How could the energy of so many ancient god flowers be so easily refined? But don't worry, it'll be done soon. In a few months at most, you'll be able to refine it completely. At that time, your cultivation will be able to improve even further. The quantity formula shouted. It's true. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Nonsense, of course it's true. I wouldn't lie. The quantity formula called out. Ah, good, I'll give you this dragon ginseng. Lu Ming smiled. Then a measure character emerged between Lu Ming's brows. A devouring force enveloped the dragon-bearded ginseng. The ginseng turned into a ray of light and flew into the measure character. Then, the measure character hid itself in Lu Ming's sea of consciousness. Lu Ming continued to move forward. Following that, Lu Ming came across a few more kinds of heavenly and earthly treasures. They were all divine medicines that were rare in the outside world and had amazing medicinal effects. He would definitely be able to sell them for a good price if he brought them out. No wonder so many people had entered this world. Lu Ming, who was moving forward, suddenly stopped. He frowned and a long spear appeared in his hand. Because at this moment he felt a sudden sense of danger. A terrifying whistling sound came from his right. An extremely sharp force tore at Lu Ming. Buzz. Without thinking, Lu Ming fired a shot to the right. Clang. Lu Ming's long spear seemed to have hit a piece of metal. Then, Lu Ming saw a black shadow being sent flying. Bang. The black shadow crashed heavily into an ancient tree dozens of meters in diameter, causing the tree to explode. Demon. Lu Ming's eyes flickered when he saw the appearance of the black shadow. It was a wolf that had attacked him. This wolf was more than 3 meters tall. Its entire body was pitch black, and it was no different from any other demonic beast or desolate beast. However, there was no demonic qi on this wolf's body. Instead, it exuded a strong demonic qi. Its eyes were blood red and full of killing intent. The demonic wolf's body contains a powerful demonic qi. No wonder it's called a demonic devil. Lu Ming was amazed. It was like a demon but not a demon, like a devil but not a devil, it was a devil. The wolf-shaped fiend howled. Its baleful aura grew stronger as it glared at Lu Ming. Roar. Following that, howls and roars rang out continuously. In the forest, black shadows flickered. At least a few dozen wolf-shaped demons appeared from the branches of the surrounding ancient trees. They glared at Lu Ming with murderous intent. Why am I so unlucky? Lu Ming was speechless. It seemed that he had encountered a wolf's den roar. Roar. Howls were heard as dozens of wolf-shaped fiendish demons turned into streaks of black light and charged at Lu Ming. The wolf-shaped demonic demon swiped with its sharp claws, letting out a terrifying howl. Its sharp claws were like knives as it clawed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's long spear shook and rays of spear light burst out. Instantly, the sound of metal clashing rang out. Dozens of wolf-shaped demons were sent flying by him. This demon has such a strong attack. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. Although he did not care about the strength of these demons, their attack power still surprised him. The demonic qi around these demons had a strong destructive power. Compared to the same level of demons and warriors from the outside world, demons were definitely stronger. After dozens of demons were sent flying, they did not retreat. Instead, they roared and charged at Lu Ming. "They'll send you on your way." Lu Ming was filled with killing intent and increased his strength. Bush, bush. Instantly, dozens of sharp spear lights shot out and pierced through the demons' necks, killing them. Lu Ming left the place immediately after killing the demons. After a few days, Lu Ming walked out of the forest and came to an even more vast mountain range. In this mountain range, they would occasionally encounter demons. These demons looked no different from the demonic beasts and desolate beasts they had encountered before. However, their bodies were filled with terrifying demonic qi. Each of them had terrifying combat strength. But correspondingly, the number of natural treasures in this mountain range had also increased. Other than the godly medicine, there were also many refining materials and even some precious metals. Most of those precious metals had entered Xiaoqiu's stomach and were eaten by it. As for those divine herbs, most of them had been swallowed by the quantity formula. Lu Ming was somewhat speechless. Most of the divine herbs and metals that he had obtained had entered the quantity formula and Xiaoqiu's stomach. There were very few that had entered his pocket. Lu Ming could only hope that these two guys would surprise him. Just like that, Lu Ming trained and killed in the desolate mountains for a few months. The deeper he went, the stronger the demons he encountered. They would often encounter 8th and 9th stage true God realm demons and even celestial God realm demons. Whenever he encountered a heavenly God level demon, Lu Ming would always take a detour. Even with Xiaoqiu's help, he did not have much confidence in dealing with a heavenly God level demon. A bunch of toads on this day, Lu Ming came to the vicinity of a huge mountain peak. After arriving, Xiaoqiu became excited. Its big mouth was gnawing and its eyes were shining as it stared at a cave at the foot of the mountain. "Xiaoqiu, could there be a treasure in this cave?" Lu Ming's heart stirred as he asked. "That's right. I can feel that there's a type of metal in this cave. It's a very precious metal. If I eat it, it'll definitely help me evolve and break through to the heavenly God realm." Xiaoqiu responded with its spiritual will. "He can break through to the heavenly God realm?" Lu Ming's eyes lit up. With Xiaoqiu's strength, if it could break through to the celestial deity realm, its combat strength would definitely be extremely terrifying and would be a great help to him. If he ran into the Tianhong Saint's son and the sacred son of reflection subordinates, he wouldn't have to be afraid anymore. "Kid, I can feel that there are many powerful demons living in this cave." The Bone Devil's voice sounded. "Senior Bone Demon, can you sense the strength of the demon in this cave?" Lu Ming asked. "The strongest one is only at the first level heavenly deity realm. There's only one. The rest are all below the heavenly deity realm." Bone said, "There's only one first level heavenly god realm demon. They'll go all out." Lu Ming revealed a determined look. "Xiaoqiu, get ready for battle." Lu Ming continued to play the ball. Then, he started to activate the battle formula. After more than 20 years of cultivation, Lu Ming's understanding of the battle character formula had deepened. The success rate of triggering the fourfold combat strength had also increased significantly. He would succeed once out of more than 10 times. After more than 10 times of triggering, Lu Ming successfully triggered the quadruple combat strength and raised his status to the maximum. He then carefully approached the cave. When Lu Ming was near the cave, a red light suddenly shot out from the cave and pierced between Lu Ming's eyebrows. Before it reached him, a foul smell had already hit his face. A tongue. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He could see clearly that the red light was actually an animal's tongue. Buzz. Lu Ming shook the long spear and it struck the tongue hard. However, when the long spear hit the tongue, there was no force at all. The tongue was soft and easily deflected the force of the long spear. It turned and stabbed toward Lu Ming again. Small tricks. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. He put away the spear and covered his palm with divine power. He grabbed the scarlet tongue and then burst out with the ultimate cold divine power, pouring it into the tongue. Instantly, the tongue was frozen into a popsicle. Lu Ming swung his arm and the popsicle broke into dozens of pieces. Immediately, a loud cry came from the cave, shaking the ground. Then, a huge creature the size of a small mountain rushed out of the cave. "It really is a toad," Lu Ming muttered. The huge creature that charged out was a huge toad. Its entire body was pitch black and it was also filled with thick demonic qi. It glared at Lu Ming with a venomous look. This toad had a cultivation of about 9th stage true god. Following that, there were cries continuously coming out from the cave, and black shadows jumped out one after another. They were all toads, and in a few moments, more than a dozen of them jumped out. They were all at the 8th or 9th stage of true god. "Kill!" Lu Ming charged forward. This time, he did not take out a long spear. Instead, he took out a combat sword. Moon slaying. Lu Ming used the moon slash at a toad. The toad cried out and opened its mouth. Rays of pitch-black light burst out like blades, slashing at Lu Ming. Clang, clang. The combat sword kept clashing with the light, causing a violent explosion. What powerful strength! Lu Ming's gaze was a little solemn. This stage 9 real god toad was astonishingly powerful. Its fighting power was not any weaker than Long Xian, who was ranked 6th on the real god ranking list. However, Lu Ming's current abilities had also improved since his battle with Long Xian. Moon slaying. Lu Ming pushed the 3 apocalyptic strikes to the extreme. The crescent-shaped sword radiance kept slashing out. At the same time, Lu Ming cast the ice chains. 9 ice chains flew out and wrapped around the toad. Lu Ming slashed the toad in half with his sword. On the other side, Qiu was showing off its might. When it was at the 8th stage true god realm, its abilities were already very shocking and could crush Lu Ming. Now that it had broken through to the 9th stage true god realm, its abilities were even stronger. Its 2 arms turned into 2 sabers and kept slashing. Every time he slashed out, a toad would be killed. Lu Ming had only killed 1 but Qiu had already killed 6. By the time Lu Ming killed the second toad, Qiu had already killed all the other toads. Amazing! Lu Ming smiled and looked at Qiu. He could not help but look forward to how strong Qiu's combat power would be after it broke through to the heavenly god level. With a flash, Lu Ming and Qiu rushed into the cave. The cave was huge and there were many different passages. This way, Qiu took the lead and flew toward a passage, followed by Lu Ming. Along the way, toads would jump out from time to time, but they were all killed by Qiu's blade. Very soon, Lu Ming and the group had traveled a few hundred miles and bypassed many winding passages. Finally, they came to a huge underground cave. This underground cave was fiery red because the walls were embedded with pieces of fiery red gemstones that emitted red light. At the very top of the cave, there was a piece of crimson metal the size of a human head. It was embedded in the wall and emitted powerful energy fluctuations. "It's that piece of metal, it's that piece of metal," Qiu's voice rang in Lu Ming's mind. It then opened its mouth wide and pounced on the piece of metal. Right at this moment, a few loud shouts rang out, causing the underground cave to shake continuously. A black shadow pounced towards Qiu at an extremely fast speed. "Qiu, be careful," Lu Ming reminded loudly. At the same time, he dashed toward the black shadow. A scarlet tongue lashed out at Qiu like a soft whip. Qiu was caught off guard and was directly whipped. Bang! Qiu was sent flying like a cannonball. It crashed into the wall and created a huge pit. Moon slaying. Lu Ming had already arrived. He cast moon slashing and slashed at the scarlet tongue. However, the tongue flicked and a terrifying force exploded. Lu Ming's body trembled and he could not help but fly backward. What powerful strength! Lu Ming's gaze was solemn. In front of them, a huge toad appeared. This toad was 2 to 3 times bigger than the ones they had encountered before. Its body was filled with dense demonic qi, and its aura was shocking. Heavenly God Realm. This toad was a heavenly god. It should be the first-level heavenly god that Bone Demon sensed. Finishing off the Toad King Bang. Shattered rocks flew everywhere and Xiaoqiu flew back to Lu Ming's side. It shook its body and was fine. The heavenly god-level toad's eyes were filled with fierceness as it glared at Lu Ming and Xiaoqiu. Then, with a spring of its legs, its huge body pounced toward Lu Ming and Xiaoqiu at an astonishing speed. It opened its mouth and its scarlet tongue was like a sharp sword light, piercing toward Lu Ming. At the same time, beams of black light burst out and rushed toward Xiaoqiu. Ice chains. Lu Ming did not dare to be careless in the face of the heavenly god-level toad. 9 ice chains flew out and wrapped around the toad. At the same time, he activated the 9 layers of crimson gold armor to protect his body and displayed the 9 heavenly Kuan-Pring technique. In a flash, he charged toward the toad, and a crescent-shaped sword light slashed toward the toad. However, Lu Ming had still underestimated this toad. The toad's tongue was like an unparalleled sword. With a swing, it struck the ice chains. The ice chains trembled violently and then broke apart one by one. Then, it continued to attack Lu Ming with its tongue. Bang! Lu Ming's combat sword struck the toad's tongue. It was as if he had struck leather. It did not break through the toad's defense. A powerful force burst forth from the tongue, traveling along the combat sword and hitting Lu Ming. Lu Ming's body was sent flying and he crashed into the wall at the side. Lu Ming felt the blood in his body churning and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. What powerful strength! Lu Ming was secretly shocked. The strength of this toad was even more powerful than that of Lu Feiyun. They were both first-level celestial deities, but Lu Feiyun's strength was definitely not a match for this toad. Boom! Boom! Xiaoqiu brandished its 2 battle sabers and collided with the black light emitted by the toad. For a moment, it managed to withstand the attack. Again! Lu Ming moved and charged at the toad again. From the quantity formula, a steady stream of divine power gushed into Lu Ming's body, keeping his divine power full. The 9 ice chains formed once again. At the same time, a dragon's roar was heard. A huge 9-clawed divine dragon appeared above Lu Ming's head. Lu Ming used the divine dragon materialization technique for the first time against his enemy. The 9-clawed divine dragon pounced toward the toad. The 9 dragon claws stepped out one after another and turned toward the toad. Bang! Bang! The toad's tongue kept clashing with the dragon's claws. The 9-clawed divine dragon's huge body trembled, but it did not shatter. I blocked it. Lu Ming was elated. The power of the divine dragon materialization art was indeed shocking, especially the 9-clawed divine dragon phenomenon that Lu Ming had condensed. It was even more powerful and had become his strongest killing move. Xiaoqiu used lightning. Lu Ming sent a voice transmission to Xiaoqiu. He had used all his means to kill the toad. Zzzzzzz. On Xiaoqiu's body, lightning pervaded and then converged into a thick bolt of lightning that shot towards the toad. It pierced through the light that was emitted by the other party in an instant and bombarded the toad. The toad was struck by the lightning, and its body immediately stiffened. The fragrance of roasted meat also spread out. After Xiaoqiu's cultivation broke through to the 9th stage True God realm, the power of that lightning was even stronger. How could Lu Ming miss such an opportunity? He immediately controlled the 9 ice chains and wrapped them around the toad. A terrifying chill surged into the toad's body, trying to freeze it. The 9-clawed divine dragon roared as it took a few steps forward with its claws aimed at the toad. At the same time, Lu Ming swung his sword at the toad. At the critical moment, the toad mustered all its remaining strength. A black demonic chi shot out in all directions like a shock wave. In an instant, the ice chains bounced off and it hit Lu Ming and the 9-clawed divine dragon. The 9-clawed divine dragon phenomenon shook violently, and its body emitted a blinding light. Then, it began to explode inch by inch. Lu Ming was sent flying, and his 9-layer crimson gold armor was covered in cracks. However, this was the toad's desperate move. After using it, his aura became much weaker, and the demonic qi protecting his body became much thinner. Xianxia seized the opportunity and another bolt of lightning struck down. This time, the toad was sent flying by the lightning. Its round body rolled on the ground, and its body was charred black. Xianxia seized the opportunity and charged forward. With a slash of its blade, half of the toad's body was chopped off with a pft sound, and blood flowed all over the ground. Even so, the toad was still alive and was struggling to escape. "Don't even think about escaping. Go!" Lu Ming shouted. The 9 ice chains formed again and were thousands of meters long, binding the toad. The toad was already heavily injured. This time, it could no longer jump out of the ice chains. Its body was covered in a layer of ice. Xianxia charged forward and slashed down twice, killing the toad completely. Lu Ming heaved a long sigh of relief. He had finally killed the toad. The heavenly god toad was even stronger than Lu Feng. It was indeed hard to kill. Lu Ming and Xianxia cooperated with each other and used all their means. They had a good grasp of the timing to kill the toad. If the timing was not right, they would not be able to kill the toad even if they joined forces. "My cultivation is still too low," Lu Ming sighed. His various divine skills and secret skills were very powerful, but his cultivation was low, so he could not exert too much power. In fact, the main reason was that Lu Ming's opponents were too powerful. If he was facing someone of the same level or a few levels higher than him, Lu Ming could easily kill them in seconds. Lu Ming, who was only at the 3rd stage of True God Realm, was too far away from a heavenly god powerhouse. If it were any other 3rd stage true god against a heavenly god, he would most likely be slapped to death. After the toad was killed, the cave became quiet. This cave seemed to be the cave of the Toad King, and the other toads didn't dare to enter. Xianxia's eyes were burning as it stared at the piece of metal. It immediately rushed up and opened its mouth to take a big bite. Giggle giggle. Sparks flew in all directions. That piece of metal was bitten off piece by Xianxia, and it swallowed it. Not long after, the entire piece of metal had been completely eaten by Xianxia. "I'm going to evolve." Xianxia turned into a metal ball and fell to the ground, unmoving. Lu Ming sat cross-legged not far away from Xianxia and channeled his energy to heal his injuries. In the battle just now, he had been seriously injured. After his injuries had healed, Lu Ming began to cultivate in the cave. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed, and Xianxia was still in the process of evolving. It was obvious that the piece of metal was not that easy to refine. "Lu Ming, I've finally refined the ancient god flower's energy. Do you need it now? If you do, I'll transfer it to you immediately." The voice of the quantity formula sounded. "All right, pass it to me." Lu Ming's eyes lit up. After decades of polishing and cultivating, Lu Ming's foundation had long been extremely stable. Now was the perfect time to break through. Chapter 2816 Great Improvement. Pay attention. The measure formula reminded him. Then, it shone brightly and waves of extremely pure energy surged into Lu Ming's body from the measure formula. Lu Ming circulated the universe myriad Dao mantra at full force to refine the waves of energy. The energy refined by the quantity formula was too pure. He only needed to refine it casually and it would be completely transformed into Lu Ming's divine power. The 6 divine flames in his dantian continued to grow. Originally, the 6th divine fire, a divine fire condensed by the mysterious divine power, was not particularly strong and had not reached the level of the other divine fires. But now, this divine fire was also growing rapidly and catching up with the other divine fires at an amazing speed. When the mysterious divine fire caught up with the other divine fires, a loud boom came from Lu Ming's body. The 6 divine fires burned fiercely and doubled in size in an instant. The divine power in Lu Ming's body also increased rapidly. 4th stage True God Realm. Lu Ming's cultivation had broken through to the 4th stage True God Realm, but it did not stop. His cultivation was still increasing rapidly. Back then, The descendants of the ancient gods had planted too many ancient god flowers and absorbed the flesh and blood of many experts. The energy contained in them was extremely rich. Back then, most of the energy had been used to condense the ancient god's heart. However, the remaining energy in the quantity formula was still extremely strong. Lu Ming's cultivation was rapidly charging towards the peak of the 4th stage of True God Realm. Not long after, he reached the peak of the 4th stage of True God Realm and started to charge towards the 5th stage of True God Realm. Boom. Not long after, there was another roar in Lu Ming's body. He had broken through to the 5th stage of True God. It was only when he broke through to the 5th stage True God Realm that the energy that surged out from the quantity formula was completely refined by Lu Ming. Cool, this is too cool. Feeling the surging divine power in his body, Lu Ming's eyes lit up and he was filled with confidence. Lu Ming's cultivation had broken through 2 levels in a row, and his abilities had skyrocketed. One must know that secret skills would improve with the breakthrough of cultivation. Moreover, the mysterious divine power had also reached the level of other divine powers. The strength of Lu Ming's divine power had reached an astonishing level, far beyond that of martial cultivators of the same level. With my current strength, I can kill that Toad King even if I'm alone, Lu Ming muttered. He was indeed confident. With his current strength, he was completely unafraid of ordinary first-level heavenly gods. He could completely kill them. Buzz. At the same time, a powerful energy fluctuation was also transmitted from Qiuqiu's side. Qiuqiu was about to begin its evolution and break through to the heavenly god realm. Qiuqiu's body was filled with a blinding radiance. Tiny bolts of lightning covered its entire body like tiny snakes that slithered around. Boom! The aura on Qiuqiu's body suddenly skyrocketed, as if it had broken through a limit and pierced through the clouds. The powerful pressure spread out. Heavenly God Realm. This was the pressure of a heavenly god. Qiuqiu had successfully broken through to the heavenly god level. It took a long time before the aura on Qiuqiu's body finally stabilized and was completely concealed. Buzz. Qiuqiu rushed in front of Lu Ming and spun around. It shouted, "Lu Ming, do you want to have a competition?" "No." Lu Ming shook his head firmly. Qiuqiu had reached the heavenly god level and its combat strength must have increased tremendously. He had suffered a loss when he fought Qiuqiu previously. Only a fool would suffer a second loss. Haha, you don't dare to compete with me, do you? Qiuqiu was very pleased with itself. It turned its round body around Lu Ming and after a long while, it turned into a bangle and put it on Lu Ming's hand. Lu Ming then followed the original path and walked outside. After walking for a while, a toad appeared in front of Lu Ming and stared at him fiercely. Lu Ming could tell that this toad had the cultivation of the 9th tier True God Realm. "I'll use you to test my strength." Lu Ming muttered and activated the double combat power of the battle character formula. He struck out with his palm. At the same time, the toad also launched an attack. However, given Lu Ming's current strength, his palm force whistled like the sea and destroyed the toad's attack like a piece of rotten wood. Then, it bombarded the toad's body. In an instant, Lu Ming activated the divine force of absolute frost. A layer of ice crystals immediately appeared on the toad's body, completely sealing it in ice. Then, Lu Ming's palm force shook and the toad's body shattered into pieces like a piece of ice. With one palm, a powerful True God 9th stage toad was killed by Lu Ming in seconds. With Lu Ming's current abilities, he could be said to be invincible among True God level powerhouses. Unless he encountered a peerless genius who also controlled divine-grade divine power and had terrifying secret skills, a true god would definitely be killed in seconds when facing Lu Ming. Lu Ming was very satisfied with his own strength. He moved and rushed outside. Along the way, they encountered toads from time to time, but they were all killed by Lu Ming in seconds. Not long after, Lu Ming came out of the toad's nest. However, Lu Ming had no intention of returning to the base to rest. He was full of divine power and was not injured. Moreover, his abilities had improved greatly. There was no need for him to return to the base to rest. It would be best for him to train in the savage mountains and obtain natural treasures. In the next few days, Lu Ming had been training in the desolate mountains and had obtained more natural treasures. However, Lu Ming did not let the quantity formula consume all the divine medicine. He kept some of the divine medicine that was rarely seen in the outside world. These godly medicines were not only valuable outside, but they might also be useful in the future. Lu Ming, someone's approaching you at high speed. It's the people who tried to kill you last time. Suddenly, Bone's voice echoed. These people are really persistent. Alright, they'll play with you guys this time. A cold glint flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. He didn't leave, but stayed and waited. Now, his cultivation base had improved greatly, and Xiaoqiu had broken through to Heavenly God, so he was very confident. Buzz. In just a few breaths, there was a loud sound of air being torn in the distance. 7 to 8 figures appeared and charged at Lu Ming at an alarming speed. This kid is here, as expected. Surround him, don't let him escape. The moment these people saw Lu Ming, their eyes lit up and they sped up. Their figures flashed and they surrounded Lu Ming from all directions. There were a total of 8 people. They were the people the Tianhong Saint's son and the Transient Light Saint's son had left behind to pursue Lu Ming. They had not given up and had been wandering around the area for the past few months. Unexpectedly, they had run into Lu Ming. The 8 of them surrounded Lu Ming. Their powerful auras filled the air and sealed off all directions, afraid that Lu Ming would escape again. What are you doing? All of you look so ferocious. Why aren't you kowtowing to me? Lu Ming said casually. Haha. The 8 of them laughed. One of them laughed and said, Holy Son? You're on the verge of death and you still want to show off? Lu Ming, today is the day you die. My death? Do you think you can kill me with your pathetic abilities? Lu Ming said in disdain. Chapter 2818 All-Out Slaughter. Lu Ming's disdainful voice was heard. Now, he had a rough idea of these people's cultivation. He was completely at ease and did not feel any pressure at all. These 8 people were all at the Heavenly God realm. 4 first-level heavenly deities, 3 second-level heavenly deities, and 1 third-level heavenly deity. Given Lu Ming's abilities, it would be difficult for him to fight against a second-level celestial deity. At most, he could only protect himself. However, Lu Ming had Xiaoqiu. When Xiaoqiu was at the true god level, it could definitely fight a weaker heavenly god with its full power. One had to know that there was a huge gap between true gods and heavenly gods. Now that Xiaoqiu had broken through to heavenly god, its combat strength had skyrocketed by who knew how much. Crossing 2 levels and killing a 3rd-level heavenly god was absolutely no problem. Therefore, Lu Ming did not think much of these people. You're really arrogant. Then let me see if you have the right to be arrogant. A middle-aged burly man stepped forward. His powerful aura pressed down on Lu Ming like a mountain, but Lu Ming did not move an inch. Kill! The burly man roared. A battle axe appeared in his hand and he swung it at Lu Ming. This burly man had a first-tier celestial god cultivation. Although he looked down on Lu Ming verbally, he did not look down on him at all when he attacked. He used his full strength the moment he attacked. After all, back then, Lu Ming and Xiaoqiu had joined forces to defeat Lu Feiyun. Although this burly man was slightly stronger than Lu Feiyun, he was not that much stronger. The others did not make a move. Instead, they guarded the surroundings, afraid that Lu Ming would take the opportunity to escape. Buzz! A long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hands. The long spear vibrated and he thrust it forward. The 3 apocalyptic strikes, sky-breaking. Moreover, the moment he attacked, Lu Ming triggered the tripled combat power of the battle formula. Clang! The spear and the battle axe collided with a loud boom. The ground under their feet cracked and spread in all directions. Then, a figure retreated rapidly. It was the middle-aged man. How is that possible? On the side, the other 7 people's hearts were beating wildly. They simply couldn't believe their eyes. Lu Ming actually had the upper hand in the head-on collision with the middle-aged man. They could see very clearly that this time, Lu Ming did not rely on any external help. He was completely relying on his own abilities. However, Lu Ming was only a true god. How could he be so powerful? How is that possible? The middle-aged man couldn't believe it himself and was a little dumbfounded. 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. Lu Ming let out a long howl and pounced on the middle-aged man like a gust of wind. He executed the second move of the 3 apocalyptic strikes, moon cutting. Not good, be careful. An old man beside him shouted to warn him, but it was too late. Whoosh, whoosh. The moment Lu Ming charged out, 9 ice chains flew out of his body like 9 bolts of lightning. They arrived first and wrapped around the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man was a little dumbfounded after being forced back by Lu Ming with 1 move. In a battle between experts, a single mistake could be fatal. At this moment he wanted to dodge, but it was too late. His body was bound by 9 ice chains. Open it! The middle-aged man roared and tried to use his divine power to jump away from the ice chains. However, Lu Ming's cultivation level had improved greatly and the power of the ice shackles had also increased by a large margin. He could not jump away at all for the time being. Lu Ming had already arrived. No! The middle-aged man let out a desperate roar. Then, a crescent-shaped spear light flashed and the middle-aged man was directly cut in half, dying on the spot. In an instant, Lu Ming had killed a first-level celestial deity. Lu Ming's current strength was enough to kill the Toad King, but the middle-aged man's strength was not as strong as the Toad King's. Moreover, he had underestimated Lu Ming's strength. After being pushed back by Lu Ming, he was momentarily dazed, which was why he was killed by Lu Ming's lightning-fast attack. All of this happened too quickly. It was so fast that the other 7 didn't even have time to save him. This kid. The other 7 people looked at Lu Ming with deep shock in their eyes. Lu Ming's speed of improvement was too fast. Now, he could actually kill a divine realm expert. If this continued, it was a sure thing that he would catch up or even surpass the other holy sons. Everyone, we can't let this man live. Let's attack together. No matter what, we must kill him. At the scene, the only 3rd-level heavenly deity old man spoke with a grave expression. Although he was 100% confident that he could kill Lu Ming as long as he made a move, he still invited the others to join him as he was afraid that Lu Ming would run away again. Let's attack together. The others nodded, and divine power of all colors exploded. If you want to kill me together, I'll kill you first. Killing intent flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. He took heavy steps and his figure actually rushed towards the 3rd-level celestial deity elder, punching him. Courting death. The old man did not expect Lu Ming to attack him. Although Lu Ming was powerful, he was still a far cry from him. He would be courting death if he was the first one to rush at him. Therefore, he was distracted for a moment and used a defensive divine skill as a defense. Then, a sword light burst out from his palm and slashed toward Lu Ming. Zzzzzzz. Lu Ming's wrist was flashing with lightning. The reason why Lu Ming was the first to attack the 3rd-level celestial deity was naturally not because he wanted to rely on his own abilities but on Xiaoqiu. Wisps of lightning appeared on the bangle that Xiaoqiu had transformed into. As Lu Ming threw a punch, a bolt of lightning as thick as an arm shot toward the elder. Boom! The old man's sword light was instantly destroyed. The lightning didn't stop and continued to strike the other party. His opponent's defensive divine skill was like a piece of paper. It couldn't even withstand a single blow. The lightning struck his body, and the old man screamed. His body flew out and fell tens of thousands of meters away. His whole body twitched and was charred black. He was exhaling more than he was inhaling. The old man was on the verge of death in 1 move, and the remaining 6 people were almost scared to death. Xiaoqiu kill. Lu Ming roared and waved his hand. Xiaoqiu flew out directly towards a 2nd-level celestial deity. As it flew out, Xiaoqiu extended 2 tentacles and transformed them into 2 sabers, slashing out continuously. The man was shocked and quickly blocked it. However, when a 2nd-level heavenly deity faced Xiaoqiu, he could only be abused. The saber light slashed past, and that person was directly killed. Following that, Xiaoqiu charged towards another 2nd-level celestial deity. As for Lu Ming, he charged towards a first-tier celestial deity. The 9 ice chains quickly wrapped around the other party. Open it! The man's saber kept slashing out, and in an instant he had slashed out hundreds of times, trying to break the ice chains. The ice chains were agitated, and sparks flew in all directions. However, the shocking coldness of the ice chains also flowed through the saber and rushed to his whole body, making him feel cold as if he was going to be frozen. Moon Slaying. Lu Ming arrived and cast the Moon Slayer. This move was more powerful than the one Lu Ming had just cast. This was because Lu Ming had already triggered the 4-fold increase in combat power. Chapter 2818 Kill Them All, You Want to Kill Me? In Your Dreams. The other party roared and exerted all his strength. He slashed out with his saber and collided with Lu Ming's attack. The other party's body trembled violently, and he spat out a large mouthful of blood as his figure retreated. A 9-clawed divine dragon suddenly appeared above Lu Ming's head. It let out a long roar and pounced toward the other party. 9-clawed divine dragon. The saint's divine dragon materialization art. The other party let out an extremely frightened roar, and then his body was grabbed by the 9-clawed divine dragon, tearing him apart. There were a total of 8 people on the other side, and now, 4 had fallen, leaving only 4. 2 first-level heavenly deities and 2 second-level heavenly deities. While Qiu already charged towards another second-level heavenly deity. Let's go! The remaining people were already scared out of their wits. They had no fighting power at all, so they turned around and ran. In that case, they were even less of a match for Lu Ming and the rest. Zzzzzzz. Qiu executed that kind of lightning again. A bolt of lightning struck out and struck a second-level celestial deity expert to death. In the Kongxian sect, these people were all outer sect elders or inner sect deacons. They were usually high and mighty, but now they were falling one after another. Qiu continued to charge towards the last second-level celestial deity, while Lu Ming charged towards the last 2 first-level celestial deities. The divine dragon phenomenon let out a long roar and pounced towards an elder first-level celestial deity, while he himself charged towards another first-level celestial deity. Lu Ming were the outer sect elders of Kongxian sect. You can't kill us. That's right. We're the Kongxian sect's heroes. You'll be committing treason if you kill us. A few of the elders began to roar. To think that you've lived for so many years, yet you still say such words. Isn't it laughable? Lu Ming said coldly, his tone filled with mockery. Previously, they had been bent on killing Lu Ming. Now that they were about to be killed, they had to bring up their status as outer sect elders of Kongxian sect in hopes that Lu Ming would let them off. Only a fool would let them go. This old man will fight you to the death. An elder roared angrily. He knew that Lu Ming would not let them off. He burned his divine power with all his might and charged at Lu Ming, wanting to take him down with him. However, a bolt of lightning struck down, and the old man's body froze in the air. He was struck into a pile of charcoal. It turned out that Qiu had already dealt with the last second-level heavenly deity and had returned to help Lu Ming. This way, there was only one last first-level celestial deity left. Ugh! The old man roared. He knew that he was going to die. He burned his divine power frantically and attacked Lu Ming. Qiu, leave this to me. Lu Ming kept hitting the ball and stopped it from shooting. He could use this person to train himself. Buzz. With a shake of the long spear, Lu Ming charged towards the person. This person had burned his divine power and his strength had increased by a large margin. He might have already surpassed the Toad King by a little. Lu Ming could use this as a practice. The 9 ice chains whistled, the 9-clawed divine dragon roared, and Lu Ming attacked himself. They kept attacking the other party. Even if the other party burned his divine power, he was still at a disadvantage. The two sides fought intensely, and in an instant, they had exchanged dozens of moves. The other party was pushed back by Lu Ming. He could not burn his divine power for long. As the other party's divine power was consumed, he was not Lu Ming's match. What a monster! The saint has offended such a person. If we can't kill him as soon as possible, he will die in his hands sooner or later. Forget it. At this moment, the old man sighed in his heart. Lu Ming's talent and combat strength had deeply shocked him. He could almost see the Tianhong saint's son dying at Lu Ming's hands in the near future. After exchanging a few more moves, the man's body was pierced by Lu Ming's spear and he died on the spot. The 8 experts sent by the Tianhong saint's son and the transient light saint's son to kill Lu Ming had all been killed, including that 3rd-level celestial deity existence. At this moment, he was already completely devoid of life aura. Lu Ming kept all 8 of their storage rings. 8 heavenly god realm storage rings. This would be a huge harvest. After keeping it, Lu Ming left the place in a flash. In the following days, Lu Ming continued to venture deeper into the mountain range. He was getting further and further away from the base. The deeper they went, the stronger the demons and devils that appeared. They would encounter celestial deity-level demons from time to time. Under normal circumstances, Lu Ming would not allow Qiu to fight. He would fight the demons alone, train himself, and collect natural treasures at the same time. Just like that, Lu Ming wandered in the desolate mountains for half a year. Roar! Lu Ming and the 3 demons were engaged in a fierce battle in a mountain valley. These 3 fiendish demons were all at the 1st-level celestial deity realm. Furthermore, the strength of each of them was extremely shocking, not any weaker than the Toad King back then. The 3 of them joined hands and pounced with astonishing power. Lu Ming used all his means to fight the 3 demons. Ice chains, divine dragon dharma power, 3 world-destroying strikes, 9 heavenly Kuan Pring technique, 9 layers of crimson gold armor. Lu Ming used all his means and fought the 3 demons for hundreds of moves. Great, this is really great. The more he fought, the stronger Lu Ming's fighting spirit was. He felt that every cell in his body was jumping and it was extremely satisfying. After half a year of training, Lu Ming had made great progress in all aspects. All of his divine skills, such as the 3 apocalyptic strikes, the 9 heavenly Kuan Pring technique, and the 9-layer crimson gold armor, had all reached the peak of the 5th layer. This rate of improvement was extremely shocking. The further one cultivated a divine skill, the harder it was to improve. It would take a long time to move, especially since Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the 5th stage of True God Realm. Lu Ming was able to cultivate several types of divine skills to the peak of the 5th level in just half a year due to the continuous fierce battles. Especially the demons here, they were fierce and brutal, their strength was shocking, the effect of training would be even better. His comprehension of the battle formula had increased by 4 times, and his success rate had reached 1/10. Moreover, in the past 6 months, Lu Ming had obtained a lot of divine medicine. Most of them were given to the quantity formula to be devoured and refined. The energy that was refined was passed to Lu Ming. Now, Lu Ming's cultivation had reached the peak of the 5th stage True God Realm, and he was not far from the 6th stage True God Realm. This speed was no different from riding a rocket. Roar! Since the start of the battle, the 3-headed demon's energy had been severely depleted. It was starting to run out of energy and was slowly being suppressed by Lu Ming. The 3 demons started to retreat. In the end, they growled and actually turned to run. Want to leave? Qiu, I'll leave it to you. Lu Ming waved his hand and Qiu flew out. It opened its mouth and spat out 3 bolts of lightning, which struck the 3 demons and killed them. In the depths of the call, there was a stalk of glistening divine medicine. One look and one could tell that it was not an ordinary item. Lu Ming walked over and kept the divine medicine before leaving the place. After a few days, Lu Ming was wandering in a forest. Buzz. Suddenly, a group of people flew over the forest. Treasure trove. A group of people flew over Lu Ming's head, exuding a powerful pressure. All of them were at the celestial realm. So many experts. They're from the indestructible sword sect. Lu Ming's gaze flickered. There were middle-aged, old, and even young people in this group. Each of them carried a sword on their back. One look at their attire and Lu Ming knew that they were from the indestructible sword sect, one of the three overlords. These people had also noticed Lu Ming, but they only cast him a cold glance before ignoring him and flying in one direction, as if they had something important to do. Lu Ming did not think too much about it. He continued to wander in the forest in search of natural treasures. However, not long after, someone flew past Lu Ming's head. This time, there were fewer people, only 4. They are from the unique Devil Academy. Lu Ming's eyes flickered when he saw the 4 people's attire. Wait a moment. The 4 of them had already flown past when an old man suddenly called out and the 4 of them stopped. The old man's gaze shifted to Lu Ming. So it's this kid. That Lu Ming who got first place in the 13 clans assessment. This kid actually managed to come here. The old man was astonished to see Lu Ming. He had seen Lu Ming before. Lu Ming had won first place in the 13 clans assessment. He had even invited Lu Ming to join the unique Demon Academy, but Lu Ming had rejected him. He had a deep impression of Lu Ming, so he had recognized Lu Ming with a quick glance. Elder Hong, you know this kid? A young man among the 4 asked. I've seen this kid before. He got first place in the 13 clans assessment. This kid can actually run here. Wait a minute, this kid's cultivation has already reached stage 5 True God. How is this possible? Old man Hong's eyes widened in shock when he saw Lu Ming's cultivation level. He remembered very clearly that Lu Ming had not even reached virtual god level during the 13 clans assessment. He was only a demigod. Now, less than 100 years had passed and Lu Ming had actually cultivated to the 5th stage of True God realm. What kind of cultivation speed was this? The old man surnamed Hong's heart was in turmoil. It hasn't even been 100 years since the first place of the last 13 clans assessment. In less than 100 years, his cultivation has risen to stage 5 True God. Then, how strong was his cultivation at that time? Another person asked. Demigod. The old man surnamed Hong said. Demigod? What? Demigod? The other 3 were completely stunned. Then cold killing intent filled their eyes. Such a talented person, yet he was not a member of their unique Demon Academy, so he should be eliminated. I'm going to kill him, the young man said coldly. He took a step forward and rushed toward Lu Ming, then he pressed his palm down. This young man was also a heaven's favorite in the unique Demon Academy. At such a young age, he already had the cultivation of a first-level heavenly deity and was not any weaker than Lu Feiyun. The way he saw it, with his first-level celestial deity cultivation, dealing with a 5th-level true god person was still a matter of settling with one palm. You still want to kill me like this? Lu Ming's heart was burning with anger and was filled with murderous intent. He didn't even say a word, but the other party wanted to kill him. He was really overbearing. Since that was the case, Lu Ming's eyes were extremely cold. His figure soared into the sky, divine powers surging wildly. Divine dragon materialization art. Lu Ming immediately used his strongest killing move. A 9-clawed divine dragon emerged and roared as it pounced toward the other party. This is, sensing the terrifying aura of the 9-clawed divine dragon, the 4 people from the unique Demon Academy were all shocked. What? The 9-clawed divine dragon roared and rushed forward, completely crushing the young man's palm force. The dragon claw stepped out and grabbed the young man. That youth would never have expected that Lu Ming, a 5th-stage true god, could actually burst out with such a terrifying attack. It was too late to dodge. Kids, stop. Don't you dare. The others roared in anger and wanted to help, but it was too late. The young man was torn apart by the divine dragon phenomenon. You're looking for death. When the remaining 3 saw this scene, they all roared in anger, their eyes red. A first-level heavenly deity had died just like that. Their hearts ached so much that it was about to drip blood. The 3 of them charged at Lu Ming in a fit of rage, their powerful auras filling the air. One was at the 1st level of the celestial deity realm, one was at the 2nd level of the celestial deity realm, and one was at the 3rd level of the celestial deity realm. Brat, I'm going to grind your bones and scatter your ashes. The old man with the surname Hong bellowed. He had a third-level celestial deity cultivation base and exuded a terrifying killing intent as he charged towards Lu Ming. One of the reasons why he wanted to kill Lu Ming so badly was because Lu Ming had killed the young man. The biggest reason was that Lu Ming's combat strength had shocked him. Lu Ming's ability was too terrifying. He must be eliminated. Qiu. Lu Ming waved his hand and Qiu flew out. Get lost. The old man surnamed Hong didn't put Qiu in his eyes at all. He struck out with a move, wanting to send Qiu flying. However, a bolt of lightning shot out from Qiu's body and pierced through the old man's attack, landing on the old man surnamed Hong. The old man screamed as he was sent flying, smashing into a few ancient trees. He was already half dead. The other two were already dumbfounded. Buzz. Qiu's figure flashed and directly slashed out with a blade. That second-level celestial deity was killed by Qiu's blade, leaving only that first-level celestial deity. Don't kill me, don't kill me. That first-level heavenly deity burly man almost peed his pants in fear. He shouted out in fear, his body trembling non-stop. At this moment, Lu Ming was simply a demon in his eyes. Is it possible that I won't kill you? Lu Ming took a step forward. His cold killing intent made the middle-aged man's body tremble even more. Don't kill me, don't kill me. As long as you don't kill me, I'll tell you a secret of a treasure. The middle-aged man shouted. The secret to the treasure? Lu Ming's eyes flashed. Seeing that Lu Ming was moved, the middle-aged man saw a chance to live. He was overjoyed and quickly shouted, That's right, we found a place that definitely has amazing treasures. As long as you let me go, I'll tell you the location of that place. You don't have the right to negotiate with me. Speak, or I'll kill you right now. Lu Ming said coldly. No, you must promise not to kill me. Otherwise, I will never tell you. I will die anyway. The middle-aged man gritted his teeth. Oh. Lu Ming rolled his eyes and nodded. All right, as long as what you said is true, I won't kill you. It's true. The middle-aged man's eyes lit up. Nonsense, of course it's true. Hurry up and tell me or I'll kill you right now. Lu Ming said coldly. All right, I'll tell you. The burly man immediately explained the geographical location. I've already told you. Can you let me go now? The middle-aged man looked at Lu Ming hopefully. Let you go? After I let you go, are you going to wait for reinforcements to come and kill me? Lu Ming sneered. Chapter 2821 Gathering of Various Sects. You just said you wouldn't kill me. Upon hearing Lu Ming's words, the middle-aged man looked terrified and screamed in horror. I said that I won't kill you myself, but I didn't say that I won't let others kill you. Qiu, kill him. Lu Ming waved his hand. I'll die. Horrible death. You broke your promise. The middle-aged man roared in anger, turned around and ran. However, he was only a first-level heavenly deity, so how could he be Qiu's match? Qiu caught up to him and killed him in a few moves. Then, Lu Ming went forward and completely dealt with the old man with the surname Hong. A treasure. Lu Ming muttered and revealed an interested expression. Since he had nothing to do, he might as well go and take a look. Immediately, Lu Ming flew to the location that the burly man told him. However, Lu Ming maintained his vigilance. He restrained his aura, slowed down, and headed in that direction. At this moment, in a place more than 100,000 miles away from Lu Ming, here, there was a dense forest with ancient trees that reached the sky. The strange thing was that there were no trees in the middle of the forest. From a distance, one could see some stone buildings. However, it was too far away and he couldn't see clearly. At this moment, a group of people were confronting each other on the outskirts of the forest. This group of people was divided into 4 groups. If other people were to see this, they would definitely be shocked. This was because these 4 groups of people all had shocking backgrounds. The Indestructible Sword Sect, the Yimo Academy, and the Boundless Holy Land. The last group was the Ice Soul Clan. Each force had a few hundred people present. Everyone, this place was first discovered by our unique Demon Academy. It should belong to our unique demon academy. What is the meaning of this? A purple-robed young man in the unique demon academy said coldly. This purple-robed young man was a powerful holy son of the unique devil academy. What a joke! You guys discovered it first, so it's yours? This is an ownerless item, so anyone who sees it will have a share, said a young man from the Eternal Sword Sect. This young man was a holy son of the indestructible sword sect. His status and strength were not inferior to that of the purple-robed young man from the unique demon academy. That's right. Since you haven't obtained the unique devil academy, anyone can fight for the treasures inside. The boundless Holy Land's Saint Child spoke coldly as he looked at the center of the forest with fiery eyes. They could clearly feel that the energy of the world was constantly gathering towards that area, as if something was constantly absorbing the essence of the world energy. There was definitely a treasure inside. The Ice Soul clan did not say anything, but their attitude spoke for itself. The purple-robed young man and the others from the Winged Demon Academy looked terrible. They knew that it was impossible for the unique Devil Academy to monopolize this place. Then what are you going to do? The purple-robed youth said coldly. Simple. There are terrifying demons living in this forest. It won't be easy to pass through. Well, rely on our own abilities. Whoever can get the treasure will get it. Well, talk with our strength. The saint of the inextinguishable sword sect smiled faintly, full of confidence. All right, let's do that. The purple-robed young man of the Winged Demon Academy had no choice but to agree. Who is it? Suddenly, the purple-robed young man from the Winged Demon Academy shouted coldly. His sharp eyes looked in one direction. The other experts seemed to have sensed something as well and looked over. I didn't expect to be discovered so quickly. Between the branches of an ancient tree, Lu Ming touched his nose. He had just arrived when he saw the four sides confronting each other. He wanted to hide in the dark and observe the situation, but he didn't expect to be noticed. The purple-robed young man from the Winged Demon Academy had an amazing perception. Since he had been discovered, there was nothing to hide. Lu Ming flew out directly. Lu Ming! As soon as Lu Ming flew out, a surprised voice was heard from the Ice Soul clan. It was the 9th young master of the Ice Soul clan, Bing Qing. Brother Bing Qing. Lu Ming smiled. He had already found Bing Qing when he was hiding. Brother Lu, I didn't expect to meet you here. Bing Qing laughed. You're Lu Ming, the Kong Xian sect's Lu Ming? Suddenly, a cold gaze looked at Lu Ming. Then, a gloomy voice was heard. Lu Ming looked over and realized that the person who spoke was the purple-robed young man from the unique Devil Academy. That's right, Lu Ming. Lu Ming answered calmly. Good, very good. I was just about to look for you, but you delivered yourself to me. My junior brother Lu Xianxia died by your hands, right? The purple-robed young man said coldly, and his cold, killing intent spread out. So you're Lu Xianxia's senior brother. Lu Xianxia was looking for death. I've already let him off a few times, but he still sneaked an attack on me. He's just looking for his own death. Lu Ming said indifferently. How audacious! Savage! A few angry roars sounded. Bang! Bang! Some of the experts from the unique Demon Academy stepped out. Their powerful auras burst out and pressed toward Lu Ming. You killed my junior brother. Today, I will destroy your cultivation and feed you to the demons. The purple-robed young man said coldly. He stepped forward and was about to kill Lu Ming. Hold on. Bing Qing called out and moved, landing in front of Lu Ming. Young Master Bing, what are you doing? This matter has nothing to do with you? Move aside. The purple-robed youth shouted coldly. Who said it has nothing to do with me? Lu Ming is a good friend of the Ice Soul clan. If you want to touch him, you'll have to go through the Ice Soul clan first. Bing Qing shouted. As soon as he finished speaking, some of the Ice Soul clan's experts appeared in front of Lu Ming. They exuded an icy cold aura, as if the scene had immediately entered winter. The purple-robed young man's face darkened. When the Yimo Academy went to the Ice Soul clan to help them retrieve the Ice Jade Cold Heart, some of them were fine. They told him about the Ice Soul clan when they returned. He knew that Lu Ming had helped the Ice Soul Clan retrieve the Ice Jade Cold Heart and gain the Ice Soul Clan's friendship. It seemed impossible for him to kill Lu Ming today. This kid is Lu Ming. Some of the people from the Indestructible Sword sect and the Infinite Saint also had cold glints in their eyes. A strong killing intent spread toward Lu Ming. Back then, in the battle at the Ice Soul Clan's ancestral land, many of the geniuses from the Indestructible Sword sect and the Boundless Holy Land had died at Lu Ming's hands. However, they did not stand up for now. They hoped that the unique Devil Academy and the Ice Soul Clan would fight each other and suffer heavy losses so that they could benefit from it. Lu Ming, the Ice Soul Clan can protect you for now, but they can't protect you forever. Let's wait and see. The purple-robed young man didn't make a move. Instead, he left behind a cold sentence and turned around to rush into the forest. Let's go. The purple-robed young man gave the order. The people from the unique Demon Academy followed the purple-robed young man and rushed toward the forest. The people from the Indestructible Sword sect and the Boundless Holy Land were a little disappointed. However, since the Yimo Academy did not make a move, they naturally would not make the first move. The strength of the Ice Soul Clan was not to be taken lightly. Let's go! Let's go! The people from the Indestructible Sword sect and the Boundless Holy Land also flew towards the forest. Chapter 2821 Frightening Statue. Brother Lu, there might be treasures in the middle of the forest. Do you want to come with us? Bing Qingyi laughed. That's what I was thinking. Lu Ming nodded. Without further ado, let's set off. A young man from the Ice Soul Clan gave the order. He was one of Bing Qing's brothers, the third young master of the Ice Soul Clan. He was also a peerless genius. Lu Ming immediately followed the Ice Soul Clan's expert and flew toward the forest. CSI. When they flew into the sky above the forest, a series of hissing sounds came from the forest below. Then, a group of black figures shot out and pounced at them. Flying snake. They were flying snakes as thick as a finger. They had wings and were as fast as black lightning. Be careful! The Ice Soul Clan's third young master reminded them. He struck out with his palm, and a cold wave surged. Immediately, dozens of flying snakes were frozen and fell into the forest. The other members of the Ice Soul Clan attacked as well. Icy palm forces, icy fist forces, and icy sword beams slashed at the flying snakes. The flying snakes were shot down continuously, but there were too many of them and they were very powerful. Some of the Ice Soul Clan members were injured or even killed. Whoosh, whoosh. Lu Ming kept stabbing with his long spear. Spear light burst out and sent more than 10 flying snakes flying. Some of them exploded directly. Brother Lu, your strength. On the side, Bing Qing was shocked. Lu Ming's ability had greatly exceeded his expectations. Back then, when Lu Ming went to help them get the Ice Jade Chilling Heart, his cultivation had just broken through to True God level, but now, he was already at the 5th stage True God realm. I'm lucky. My cultivation has increased a little during this period of time. Lu Ming said casually. My cultivation has increased a little. Bing Qing's eyelids twitched, and she wailed in her heart. Was this a little? From stage 1 True God to stage 5 True God, this was called a point? He also wanted to increase the price a little. The other members of the Ice Soul Clan, including the third young master, were also shocked by Lu Ming's strength. But now that they were facing a crisis, they didn't think too much and continued to rush forward. In a few other directions, the Immortal Sword sect, the unique Demon Academy, and the Boundless Holy Land were also facing the attacks of the flying snakes. The deeper they went, the more flying snakes there were. It was as if there were countless flying snakes hidden under the forest. They were so densely packed that it made one's scalp tingle. Their speed became slower and slower, and it became more and more strenuous. Those below the Heavenly Deity stage, hide in the middle. Those above the Heavenly Deity stage, open a path outside. The Ice Soul Clan's third young master shouted. He ordered those below the Heavenly God level to hide in the middle and those above the Heavenly God level to surround him. He attacked with all his might. The cold air surged, and large groups of flying snakes were frozen into popsicles, falling into the forest. 2 hours later, they finally rushed out of the forest and arrived at the central area of the forest. This place was extremely wide and boundless. There was not a single blade of grass, only stone pillars. Each stone pillar was separated by a certain distance. Each stone pillar was 100 meters tall and was randomly distributed on the open space. And below the stone pillars, there were statues. These statues were also made of stone. Some of them were as tall as a person, while others were more than 10 meters tall. They looked very realistic. The only things he could see were stone pillars and statues. Also, deep within the stone pillar and statue, there was a tree. A giant tree that was over 1,000 meters tall. What surprised them was that the leaves of this tree were extremely strange. They were not green, but black, shaped like swords, like black iron swords. The strangest thing was the fruit of this tree. There was only one fruit on the tree, and it was a stone fruit. Yes, it looked like it was carved out of stone and hung on the crown of the tree. It was the size of a basin and was covered with strange patterns. The energy of the world continued to gather and finally gathered on the fruit. The end point of the energy convergence was this fruit. Treasure. Everyone's eyes were burning with passion. Although no one knew what the fruit was, they all knew that it was definitely a treasure. It's mine. The eyes of the purple-robed young man from the Unique Devil Academy flashed. Then, he led the people from the Unique Devil Academy and rushed toward the big tree. Don't even think about it. The people from the Indestructible Sword Sect, the Boundless Holy Land, and the Ice Soul Clan also rushed toward the tree. Gotcha! Just as they were charging forward, the statues that had been motionless suddenly moved. Thump! Boom! The statues took a step forward, and their heavy bodies caused the ground to shake. They then charged toward the crowd. The purple-robed young man from the Unique Demon Academy was the first to be attacked. A 10-meter-tall statue holding a stone sword slashed at him. The purple-robed young man's eyes narrowed and he shouted, "Get lost!" Then, a demonic blade flew out of the purple-robed young man's hand. Clang! The purple-robed young man's demonic blade collided with the statue's stone sword, creating a terrifying boom. It formed circles of terrifying sound waves that spread out. At the moment of collision, the purple-robed young man's expression changed drastically. His body seemed to have been hit by a divine mountain, and he actually retreated. At this moment, even more statues arrived. Blood splattered everywhere, and miserable screams continued to ring out. In the blink of an eye, at least dozens of people from the Unique Devil Academy had died in the hands of the various statues. Not only the Yimo Academy, but also the Immortal Sword Sect, the Boundless Holy Land, and the Ice Soul Clan had people killed by the statues. The strength of these statues was shockingly strong. Moreover, the taller and bigger one was, the stronger one's strength would be. Thump! Boom! The feet of these statues seemed to be equipped with springs, and they jumped up hundreds of meters high. They waved all kinds of different stone weapons and attacked the crowd. Lu Ming was also facing a great enemy. An 8-meter-tall statue with a stone sword in its hand charged toward Lu Ming. The stone sword slashed out, and the space whistled. The terrifying force pressed down on Lu Ming, making it difficult for him to breathe. Moon slaying. Lu Ming's spear struck out and he immediately cast the 3 apocalyptic strikes. Clang! The statue's stone sword slashed at the long spear, causing it to vibrate nonstop. Lu Ming's body retreated frantically, feeling his arm go numb as if it was going to split open. Buzz! After the stone sword pushed Lu Ming back, it charged at him again. Not only that, on the other side, there was another 8 to 9 meter tall statue that was charging toward Lu Ming. It was a pincer attack and Lu Ming was in danger. Ball! Lu Ming waved his hand and Xiao flew out. Its body was filled with lightning and a bolt of lightning blasted out, bombarding the statue. However, to Lu Ming's surprise, the statue seemed to be fine even after the lightning struck it. It did not slow down and continued to attack Lu Ming. It's actually useless. Lu Ming's heart trembled. Xiao saw that the lightning was useless, so it could only use its round body to crash into the other party and meet force with force. Chapter 2822 Ancient Gods' Heart's Miraculous Effects. At this moment, the experts of the four forces were completely at a disadvantage. They were surrounded by a large group of statues, and people were constantly being killed. Not to mention those below the heavenly deity level, even the holy sons were in danger. The purple-robed young man and the Ice Soul clan's third young master were surrounded by several statues that were more than 10 meters tall. If Bing Qing did not have the protection of the Ice Soul clan's experts, she would most likely be in danger as well. Lu Ming, you've walked into a large formation. These statues move with the formation. Anyone who enters the formation will be killed. Bone's voice echoed in his mind. A formation? How do I break it? Lu Ming quickly asked for guidance. It's very simple, super simple. Do you see those stone pillars? You just have to jump on the stone pillars and walk on them. Bone said, It's that simple? Lu Ming was stunned. Nonsense, it's that simple. It's just that you guys are stupid and didn't realize it. Bone said in disdain. Lu Ming was at us. Let's try. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He let Xiao return to his side and struck with all his might with his spear, colliding with a statue. He used the force to retreat quickly. Then he stomped on the ground and his figure soared into the sky, landing on a statue. When Lu Ming landed on the statues, the few statues that were chasing after him seemed to have lost track of him. They scanned their surroundings suspiciously and then attacked the others. It was indeed useful. Lu Ming was overjoyed. Brother Bing, quickly get on the stone pillar. The statue won't attack the person on the pillar. Lu Ming quickly sent a voice transmission to Bing Qing and the rest. When Bing Qing and the others heard this, their eyes lit up as well. Then, they fought the statue with all their might and rushed up the stone pillar. When they reached the top of the stone pillar, the statues stopped attacking them. Bing Qing and the others were overjoyed. Third brother, everyone, quickly get on the stone pillar. Bing Qing shouted and informed the third young master of the Ice Soul clan. Charge up the stone pillar. The Ice Soul clan's third young master pushed back a statue with a single palm. In a flash, he also rushed up to a stone pillar. The other members of the Ice Soul clan used their own methods and rushed to the stone pillars. Of course, there were also many people who were killed by the statues in the process of charging. The Ice Soul clan originally had nearly 300 people, but hundreds of them had been killed in such a short time. It was a heavy loss. Stone pillar, charge up the stone pillar. When the people from the Yimo Academy, the Immortal Sword Sect, and the Boundless Holy Land saw this scene, they also came to a sudden realization and rushed toward the stone pillar. After paying the price, the people from the three forces also rushed to different stone pillars. After that, everyone leaped from the stone pillars and rushed towards the big tree in front of them. Boom! Just as Lu Ming leaped onto one of the stone pillars, a sharp saber gleam slashed at the stone pillar beneath his feet. Boom! The stone pillar crumbled. This fellow. Lu Ming swept his gaze and realized that the person who had shattered the stone pillar under his feet was the purple-robed young man from the unique Demon Academy. Go to hell! The purple-robed youth sneered. As soon as the stone pillar crumbled, the statues immediately sensed Lu Ming's presence. Thump! Boom! Immediately, a few 10-meter-tall statues leaped up and charged toward Lu Ming at the same time. Lu Ming's expression changed. Divine Dragon Materialization Art. Lu Ming immediately used the Divine Dragon Materialization Art. A 9-clawed divine dragon phenomenon flew out and charged at a statue. At the same time, the 9 ice chains also flew out. Then, he activated the 9-layer crimson gold armor. In an instant, Lu Ming used all his means, including Qiao, which turned into a shield and blocked in front of him. However, these 10-meter-tall statues were too powerful. The divine dragon image shook and was directly shattered by a stone sword. The 9 ice chains also shattered. Boom! Lu Ming was hit by a few consecutive attacks. His body was like a cannonball, crashing to the ground with a huge boom. Lu Ming felt as if his body was about to split apart. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. He had been injured just now. However, the most fatal thing was that Lu Ming was the only one under the stone pillar at the moment. The number of statues was shocking. At that moment, the statues charged at Lu Ming one after another, trying to drown him. Brother Lu, Bing Qing was shocked, but at this moment, they were helpless to help. Haha, you want to fight me? Go to hell. The purple-robed youth laughed wildly. The people from the indestructible sword sect and the boundless Holy Land looked on coldly, hoping that Lu Ming would die at the hands of the statue. What do we do? At this moment, Lu Ming was almost in a desperate situation. There were statues rushing towards him from all directions. With so many statues, one move was enough to turn him into ashes. Thump. Boom. At that moment, Lu Ming's heart was beating rapidly. A strange aura filled the air. The aura of an ancient god. Lu Ming's heart was the ancient god's heart. At that moment, it was giving off a wondrous aura. When the aura spread out, the statues froze. A few of the terrifying statues' attacks were about to hit Lu Ming, but at this moment, they could not help but stop. This is a good opportunity. How could Lu Ming miss such a rare opportunity? He became one with the spear and turned into a dazzling spear gleam. He jumped away from a statue and rushed to the nearest stone pillar, avoiding the disaster. Damn it, what's going on? Those statues, why did their movements become so stiff? Seeing this, the purple-robed young man roared unwillingly in his heart, and his eyes flickered with ferocious killing intent. The others were also stunned and confused. Just now, they had thought that Lu Ming was dead for sure. Even if any of the other holy sons were in such a situation, they would die without a doubt, let alone Lu Ming. However, the movements of the statues suddenly stiffened. Lu Ming seized the opportunity and escaped. Ancient God's heart. My ancient God's heart is useful for these statues. Lu Ming's mind was racing. Not only that, Lu Ming even had a feeling that if he activated the ancient God's heart, he could even control these statues. This world's bronze door appeared in the holy land of the descendants of the ancient gods. This world might have a great connection with the descendants of the ancient gods, which is why the heart of the ancient god affected these statues. Lu Ming kept thinking and his eyes lit up slightly. This fellow, I will definitely take revenge for this. Lu Ming's cold eyes looked at the purple-robed young man. If not for the ancient god's heart, he would have been dead and the purple-robed young man would have been on his must-kill list. Lu Ming, you're lucky. I hope you'll be as lucky next time. The purple-robed young man snorted coldly, then turned around and rushed toward the big tree. Lu Ming sneered and dashed toward the big tree. At this time, the fastest group of people had already rushed past the stone pillar area and directly rushed to the fruit at the top of the big tree. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.